शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदां बुद्धिविनाशाय दीपराजनमोऽस्तुते भूदीप ब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं कर्मसाक्षी ह्यविघ्नकृतो यावत् कर्म समाप्ति स्यात् तावत् त्वं सुस्थिरो भव। कर्मसाक्षि ज्योतिषे नमः दीपाराधन मोदట్లో కింద వేసిన कर्मसाक्षि ज्योतिषे नमः प्रार्थनापूर्वक सर्वोपचारान् समर्पयामि। అక్షింతలు ఇచ్చాను. ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. గణానాం త్వా గణపతిగుం హవామహే కవిం కవీనాముపమశ్రవస్తమం ప్రణో దేవీ సరస్వతి వాజేభిర్వాజనేవతే. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः.
साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम्. मम आग्ने वर्चो विहवेश्वस्तु वयं धानास्तनवं पुषेम. मम देवा विहवे सन्तु सर्व इन्द्रावन्तो मरुतो विष्णुरग्निः. मयि देवाद्रविणमाय जन्तां मय्याशीरस्तु मयि देवहूतिः. मह्यं यजन्तु मम यानि हव्याकोतिः सत्या मनसो मे अस्तु.
विश्वे देवासो अधिवोचतामे.
देवीश्वरर्वेरुणः कृणोत विश्वे देवासैह वीरयध्वम्.
आस्महे प्रजयामातनोभिर्मारधामद्विषदे सोमराजन्.
अग्निर्मन्यं प्रतिनुदन् पुरस्तात् दब्धो गोपाः परिपाहि नस्त्वम्.
जयन्तु निगतः पुनस्ते महिषाञ्चित्तं प्रबुधा विनेशतु.
धाता धातॄणां भुवनस्य यस्पतिर्देवगुं सवितारमभिमातिशाहम्.
यज्ञमश्विनो भा बृहस्पतिर्देवाः पान्द्वैरमानन्यर्था.
उरुव्यचानो महिषः शर्म यगुं सदस्मिन् हवे पुरुहोतः पुरुक्षो.
प्रजायै हर्यश्वमृडयेन्द्रमानो रीरिषोमापरादा.
येन सपत्ना अपते भवन्विन्द्राज्ञिभ्यामवबाधामहेतान्.
रुद्रा आदित्या उपरि स्पृशं मोऽग्रञ्चेत्तारमधिराजमक्रन्.
अर्वाञ्चमिन्द्रममुतो हवामहे योगो जिद्धनजिदश्वजिद्यः.
यज्ञं विहवे जुषस्वास्य कुर्मो हरिवो मेदिनन्द्वा.
प्रातरग्निम् प्रातरिन्द्रगुम् हवामहे प्रातर्मित्रा वरुणा प्रातरश्विना
भगम् भूषणम् ब्रह्मणस्पतिम् प्रातः सोममुदरुद्रगुम् हुवेम
प्रातर्जितम् भगमुग्रगुम् हुवेम वयम् पुत्रमदितेर्यो विधर्ता
चिद्यम् मन्यमानस्तुरश्चिद्राजा चिद्यम् भगम् भक्षेत्याह
भग प्रणेतर्भग सत्यराधो भगेमान् धियमुदवदन्नः
प्रणो जनयगोभिरश्वैर्भग प्रनृभिर्नृवन्तस्याम
उदेदानीम् भगवन्तस्यामोत प्रपित्व उत मध्ये अह्ना
मोदितामघवन् सूर्यस्य वयम् देवानागुम् सुमतौ स्याम
भग एव भगवागुम् अस्तु देवास्तेन वयम् भगवन्तस्याम
भग सर्व इज्जो हवीमि स नो भगपुर एता भवेह
समध्वरा योषसो नमन्ददधिक्रावे वशुचये पदाय
प्राचीनम् वसुविदम् भगन्नो रथमिवाश्वावाजिन आवहन्तु
अश्वावतेर्गोमतेर्न उषासो वीरवती सदमुच्छन्तु भद्राः
दुहाना विश्वतः प्रवीणा यूयम् पात स्वस्तिभिः सदा नः
ॐ दच्छंयोरावृणीमहे
यज्ञाय
गातुम् यज्ञपतये
स्वस्तिरस्तु नः
स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः
जिगातु भेषजम्
शिन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे
चतुष्पदे
ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
तिसृक्
चित्तमाज्यम्
वाग्वेदिः
आधेतम् बर्हिः
तो अग्निः
विज्ञातमग्निः
वाक्पतिर्होता
मन उपवक्ता
नो हविः
सामाध्वर्युः
वाचस्पते विधेनामन्
विधेमते नाम
स्वमस्माकन्नाम
वाचस्पतिः सोमम् पिबतो
अस्मासु नृम्नन्धात् स्वाहा
पृथिवी होता
गौरध्वर्युः
रुद्रोऽग्नि
बृहस्पतिरुपभक्ता
वाचस्पते वाचो वीर्येण
संहृततमेना यक्ष्यसे
यजमानाय वार्यम्
आसु भस्करस्मै
वाचस्पतिः सोमम् पिबते
रदिन्द्रमिन्द्रियाय स्वाहा
अग्निर्होता
ध्वर्यो
त्वष्टाग्निर्
उपभक्ता
सोमः सोमस्य पुरोगाः
शुक्रः शुक्रस्य पुरोगाः
श्रातास्त इन्द्रसोमाः
पेरहवनश्रुतः स्वाहा
सूर्यन्ते चक्षुः
वातम् प्राणः
द्याम् पृष्ठम्
अन्तरिक्षमात्मा
अङ्गैर्यज्ञम्
पृथिवीगुं शरीरैः
वाचस्पते छिद्रया वाचा
छिद्रया जुह्वा
दिवि देवावृधगुम् होत्रामेरयस्व स्वाहा
विरुहोता
सत्यहविरध्वर्युः
अच्युतपाजा अग्नि
अच्युतमना उपभक्ता
दृश्यश्च प्रतिदृश्यश्च यज्ञस्याभिकरौ
अयास्य उद्गाता
वाचस्पते हृद्विधेनामन्
विधेमते नाम
स्वमस्माकन्नाम
वाचस्पतिः सोममपादो
व्यस्तन्तुच्छेदि मामनुष्यः
नमो दिवे
पृथिव्यै स्वाहा
वाग्घोता
दीक्षापत्नी
वातोऽध्वर्युः
आपोऽभिगरः
मनो हविः
तमसि जुहोमि
भूर्भुवः सुवः
ब्रह्म स्वयम्भू
ब्रह्मणे स्वयम्भुवे स्वाहा
ब्रह्मण एकहोता
स यज्ञः
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
यज्ञश्च मे भूयात्
निर्द्विहोता
स भर्ता
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
भर्ता च मे भूयात्
पृथिवीत्रिहोता
स प्रतिष्ठा
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
प्रतिष्ठा च मे भूयात्
अन्तरिक्षम् चतुर्होता
स विष्ठा
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
विष्ठाश्च मे भूयात्
वायुः पञ्चहोता
स प्राणः
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
प्राणश्च मे भूयात्
चन्द्रमा षड्होता
स अर्थोऽन्कल्पयाति
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
अर्थवश्च मे कल्पन्ता
सप्तहोता
स प्राणस्य प्राणः
मे ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
प्राणस्य च मे प्राणो भूयात्
अष्टहोता
सोऽनाधृष्यः
दातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
अनाधृष्यश्च भूयासम्
आदित्यो नवहोता
स तेजस्वी
दातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
तेजस्वी च भूयासम्
पतिर्दश होता
स इदगुम् सर्वम्
ददातु प्रजाम् पशून् पुष्टिं यशः
सर्वम् च मे भूयात्
यजुर्भिः
सविता स्तोमैः
मदैः
मित्रावरुणा वासिषा
सोधिष्ठियैरग्निभिः
मरुतः सदोहविर्धानाभ्याम्
प्रोक्षणीभिः
ओषधयो बर्हिषा
निर्वेद्या
सोमो दीक्षया
सेध्मेन
विष्णुर्यज्ञेन
आज्येन
आदित्या दक्षिणाभिः
देवा ऊर्जा
पूषा स्वगाकारेण
बृहस्पतिः पुरोधया
प्रजापतिरुद्गीथेन
अन्तरिक्षम् पवित्रेण
वायुः पात्रैः
श्रद्धया
सेनेन्द्रस्य
बृहस्पतेः
पथ्या पूष्णः
वायो
दीक्षा सोमस्य
यज्ञे
वसूनाम् गायत्री
रुद्राणाम् दृष्टुको
आदित्यानाम् जगति
विष्णोरनुष्टुको
वरुणस्य विराट्
यज्ञस्य पङ्क्तिः
प्रजापतेरनुमतिः
यज्ञस्य श्रद्धा
सवितः प्रसोदिः
सूर्यस्य मरीचिः
चन्द्रमसो रोहिणी
ऋषीणामरुन्धति
पर्जन्यस्य विद्युतो
स्रोदिशः
चतस्रोवान्तरदिशाः
रात्रिश्च
ऋषिश्च वृष्टिश्च
पशुतिश्च
आपश्चौषधयश्च
सूनृता च देवानाम् पत्नयः
देवस्य त्वा सवितः प्रसवे
बाहुभ्याम्
ऊष्णो हस्ताभ्याम् प्रतिगृह्णामि
त्वा वरुणो नयतु देवि दक्षिणेऽग्रये हिरण्यो
तेनामृतत्वमस्य
दात्रे
मयो मह्यमस्तु प्रतिगृहीत्रे
कस्मादा
कामः कामाय
दाता
कामः प्रतिगृहीता
समुद्रमाविशा
कामेन त्वा प्रतिगृह्णामि
दत्ते
एषा ते कामदक्षिणा
स्त्वाङ्गीरसः प्रतिगृह्णातु
सोमाय वासः वरुणायाश्वम्
प्रजापतये पुरुषौ
मनवे तल्पम्
अस्त्रेजा
ऊष्णेविम्
निर्वृत्या अश्वतरगर्दभौ
हिमवतो हस्तिनम्
गन्धर्वाप्सराभ्यस्रकरङ्करणे
विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो धान्यम्
वाचेन्नौ
ब्रह्मण ओदनौ
मुद्रायापः
तानायाङ्गीरसायानः
वैश्वानराय रथौ
वैश्वानरः प्रत्नधानाकमारुहतो
पृष्ठम् बन्धमानः सुमन्मभिः
सपूर्ववज्जनयज्जन्तवेधनम्
मानमज्मा परियाति जागृभिः
राजा त्वा वरुणो नयतु देवि दक्षिणे वैश्वानराय रथम्
तेनामृतत्वमस्य
वयोदात्रे
मह्यमस्तु प्रतिग्रहीत्रे
क इदम् कस्मादादु
कामाय
कामो दाता
प्रतिग्रहीता
कामगुम् समुद्रमाविशा
त्वा प्रतिगृह्णामि
कामैतत्ते
एषा ते कामदक्षिणा
तानस्त्वाङ्गीरसः प्रतिगृह्णादो
वर्णम् घर्मम् परिवेदवेनौ
इन्द्रस्यात्मानम् दशधाचरन्तौ
अन्तः समुद्रे मनसाचरन्तौ
ब्रह्माण्डविन्दद्दश होतारमर्णे
प्रविष्टः शास्ता जनानाम्
एकः सन् बहुधा विचारः
शुक्राणि यत्रैकम् भवन्ति
सर्वे वेदा यत्रैकम् भवन्ति
सर्वे होतारो यत्रैकम् भवन्ति
समानसीन आत्मा जनानाम्
प्रविष्टः शास्ता जनानागो सर्वात्मा
सर्वाः प्रजा यत्रैकम् भवन्ति
होतारो यत्र सम्पदम् गच्छन्ति देवैः
समानसीन आत्मा जनानाम्
इन्द्रमग्निम् जगतः प्रतिष्ठा
दिव आत्मानगुम् सवितारम् बृहस्पतिम्
चतुर्होतारम् प्रदिशोऽनुक्लुप्तौ
वाचो वीर्यं तपसान्वविन्दतो
प्रविष्टं कर्तारमेतौ
त्वष्टारगुं रूपाणि विकुर्वन्तं विपश्यम्
अमृतस्य प्राणयज्ञमेतौ
चतुर्होत्ॄणामात्मानं कवयो निचिक्युः
प्रविष्टं कर्तारमेतौ
देवानां बन्धुनिहितं गुहासो
क्लुप्तं यज्ञमेतौ
चतुर्होत्ॄणामात्मानं कवयो निचिक्युः
संयुतः परिवेद विश्ववारः
विश्वमिदं वृणाते
स्यात्मा निहितः पञ्चहोता
अमृतं देवानामायुः प्रजानाम्
राजानकं सवितारमेतौ
वायोरात्मानं कवयो निचिक्युः
रश्मीनां मध्ये तृपन्तौ
अर्धस्य पदे कवयो निपान्ति
आण्डकोशे भुवनं बिभर्ति
अनिर्भिन्नः सन्नथ लोकान् विचष्टे
आण्डकोशकं सुष्ममाहुः प्राणमुल्बौ
तेन क्लुप्तो मृतेनाहमस्मि
कोशकं रजसा परिवृतौ
देवानां वसुधानीं विराजम्
अमृतस्य पूर्णान्तामुकलां विचक्षते
पादगुं षड्ढोतुर्न किला विवित्से
कर्तवः पञ्चधोतक्लुप्ता
उत वा शर्धा मनसोत क्लुप्ताः
षड्ढोतारमृतभिः कल्पमानौ
अर्धस्य पदे कवयो निपान्ते
प्रविष्टं कर्तारमेतौ
अन्तश्चन्द्रमसि मनसा चरन्तौ
वसन्तन्न विजानन्ति देवा
इन्द्रस्यात्मानगुंस्य तथा चरन्तौ
इन्द्रो राजा जगतो य ईशे
सप्तहोता सप्तधा विक्लुप्ताः
हरेण तन्तुं परिशिच्यमानौ
अन्तरादित्ये मनसा चरन्तौ
देवानागो हृदयं ब्रह्मान्वविन्दतो
ब्रह्मैतद्ब्रह्मण उज्जभार
गुश्चोतन्तकं शरीरस्य मध्ये
आयस्मिन् सप्तवेरवः
बहुलाकुश्रियौ
बह्वश्वामिन्द्र गोमती
अच्युतां बहुलाकुश्रियौ
सहरिर्वसु वित्तमः
इन्द्राय पिन्वते
बह्वश्वामिन्द्र गोमती
अच्युतां बहुलाकुश्रियौ
मह्यमिन्द्रो नियच्छतो
शता अस्य युक्ता हरिणा
अर्वाङ्गायादु वसुभिरश्मिरिन्द्रः
मोहमानो बहुलाकुश्रियौ
रश्मिरिन्द्रः सविता मे नियच्छतो
तेजो मधुमदिन्द्रियौ
मय्ययमग्निर्दधातो
पतङ्गः पटरी सुपर्णः
विवीक्षयो नभसाययेति
इन्द्रः कामवरं ददातु
पञ्चारं चक्रं परिवर्तते पृथो
ज्योतिःशरीरस्य मध्ये
अजस्रं ज्योतिर्नभसा सर्पदेति
इन्द्रः कामवरं ददातु
सप्तयुञ्जन्ति रथमेकचक्रम्
एको अश्वो वहति सप्तनामा
त्रिणाभिचक्रमजरमनर्वौ
नेमा विश्वा भुवनानि तस्थुः
भद्रं पश्यन्त उपसेदुरग्रे
दीक्षामृषयस्व वर्विदः
ततः क्षत्रं बलमोजश्च जातौ
तस्मै देवा अभिजन्नमन्तु
श्वेतगुं रश्मिम्बो भुज्यमानौ
नेतारं भुवनस्य गोपा
इन्द्रं निचक्युः परमे व्योमन्
रोहिणीः पिङ्गला एकरूपा
शरन्तेः पिङ्गला एकरूपाः
सहस्राणि प्रयुतानि नाव्याना
अयं यश्वेतो रश्मिः
जगतो
प्रजां पशून् धनानि
अस्माकं ददातु
श्वेतो रश्मिः परिसर्वं बभूव
ह्यं पशून् विश्वरूपा
पतङ्गभक्तमसुरस्य मायया
पश्यन्ति मनसा मनीषिणः
समुद्रे अन्तः कवयो विचक्षते
मरीचिरां पदमिच्छन्ति मेधसः
पतङ्गो वाचं मनसा बिभर्ते
गन्धर्वो वदद्गर्भे अन्तः
आन्द्योतमानागुं स्वर्यं मनीषा
तस्य पदे कवयो निपान्ति
ये ग्राम्याः पशवो विश्वरूपाः
सन्तो बहुधैकरूपा
अग्निस्तागुम् अग्रे प्रममोक्तु देवः
प्रजापतिः प्रजया संविधानः
वीतगुस्तुके स्तुके
युवमस्मासु नियच्छतौ
प्रयज्ञपतिन्दिरा
ग्राम्याः पशवो विश्वरूपा
विरूपाः सन्तो बहुधैकरूपाः
सप्तानामि हरन्तिरस्तु
राजस्पोषाय सुप्रजास्त्वाय सुवीर्याय
आरण्याः पशवो विश्वरूपा
विरूपाः सन्तो बहुधैकरूपाः
अग्रे प्रमुमोक्तु देवः
प्रजापतिः प्रजया संविधानः पुनः
सृप्तं घृतवच्चराचरं
देवान् बविन्दन् गुहाहितौ
कारण्याः पशवा विश्वरूपा
विरूपास्तन्दो बहुधैकरूपाः
सप्तानामि हरन्तिरस्तु
राजस्पोषाय सुप्रजास्त्वाय सुवीर्याय
सहस्रशीरुषा पुरुषः
सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात्
विश्वतो वृत्वा
अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलौ
एवेदकं सर्वं
यच्च भव्यौ
तत्त्वस्येषानः
यदन्नेनातिरोहते
वानस्य महिमा
अतो ज्यायागुश्च पूरुषः
अस्य विश्वाभूतानि
त्रिपादस्यामृतम् दिवि
ऊर्ध्व उदयित्पुरुषः
पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः
विश्वं व्यक्रामतु
शासनानशने अभि
विराड जायत
विराजो अधिपूरुषः
अत्यरिच्यत
पश्चाद्भूमिमथो पुरः
पुरुषेण हविषा
देवा यज्ञमतन्वता
अस्यासीदाज्यं
ग्रीष्म यद्मः शरद्धविः
अस्यासन् परिधयः
त्रिसप्त समिधः कृता
यद्यज्ञं तन्वाना
अबध्नन् पुरुषम् पशौ
यज्ञं बर्हिः प्रोक्षन्
पुरुषम् जातमग्रतः
देवा अयेजन्ता
साध्या ऋषयश्च ये
यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः
सम्भृतम् वृषदाद्यौ
गुस्तागुश्चक्रे वायव्यानो
अरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये
यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः
अद्भुतम् वृषदाद्यौ
गुस्तागुश्चक्रे वायव्यानो
अरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये
यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः
अचः सामानि जज्ञिरे
कोऽसि जज्ञिरे तस्मात्
यजुस्तस्मादजायत
तस्मा अजायन्त
एकेजो भयादतः
जज्ञिरे तस्मात्
तस्माज्जाता अजावयः
संयदधुः
कतिधा व्यकल्पयन्
अङ्गिमस्य कौ बाहु
काभूरोपादावुच्येते
ब्रह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत्
बाहोराजन्यः कृतः
तदस्य यद्वैश्यः
पद्भ्यागुम् शूद्रो अजायत
मनसो जातः
चक्षोः सूर्यो अजायत
इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च
प्राणाद्वायुरजायत
आसीदन्तरिक्षम्
शीर्ष्णोद्यौ समवर्तत
भूमिर्दिश्रोत्रात्
तथा लोकागुम् अकल्पयन्
अहमेतम् पुरुषम् महान्तम्
आदित्यवर्णम् तमसस्तु पारे
सर्वाणि रूपाणि विजित्य धीरः
नामानि कृत्वाभिवदनु यदास्ते
माता पुरस्ताद्यमुदा जहार
शक्रः प्रविद्वान् प्रतिशश्च दस्रः
एवं विद्वा प्रोक्षन्नो
पुरुषम् जातमग्रतः
देवा अयजन्त
साध्या ऋषयश्च ये
यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः
सम्भृतम् वृषदाज्यम्
गुस्तागुश्चक्रे वायव्यानो
अरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये
यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः
अचः सामानि जज्ञिरे
कंसि जज्ञिरे तस्मात्
यजुस्तस्मादजायत
तस्मा अजायन्त
एकेजो भयादतः
जज्ञिरे तस्मात्
तस्माज्जाता अजावयः
पुरुषं यदधुः
कतिधा व्यकल्पयन्
किमस्य कौ बाहु
बाहोरोपादावुच्येते
ब्रह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत्
बाहोराजन्यः कृतः
तदस्य यद्वैश्यः
पद्भ्यागुम् शूद्रो अजायत
मनसो जातः
चक्षोः सूर्यो अजायत
इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च
प्राणाद्वायुरजायत
आसीदन्तरिक्षम्
शीर्ष्णोद्यौ समवर्तत
भूमिर्दिश्रोत्रात्
तथा लोकागुम् अकल्पयन्
वेदाहमेतम् पुरुषम् महान्तम्
आदित्यवर्णम् तमसस्तु पारे
सर्वाणि रूपाणि विजित्य धीरः
नामानि कृत्वाभिवदनु यदास्ते
पुरस्ताद्यमुदा जहार
शक्रः प्रविद्वान् प्रतिशश्च दस्रः
एवं विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति
नान्यः पन्था अयनाय विद्यते
यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवा
तानि धर्माणि प्रथमान्यासन्
तेनाकम् महिमानः सजन्ते
यत्र पूर्वे साध्याः सन्ति देवाः
सम्भूतः पृथिव्यैरसा च
विश्वकर्म ब्रह्मणः समवर्तताधे
तस्य त्वष्टा विदधद्रूपमेति
तत्पुरुषस्य विश्वमाजानमग्रे
वेदाहमेदं पुरुषं महान्तौ
आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्
विद्वानमृत इह भवति
नान्यः पन्था विद्यते यनाय
प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भे अन्तः
अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते
तस्य धीराः परिजानन्ति योनिं
मरीचीनां पदमिच्छन्ति वेधसः
यो देवेभ्य आतपति
यो देवानां पुरोहितः
पूर्वो यो देवेभ्यो जातः
नमो रुचाय ब्राह्मये
प्रजं ब्राह्मं जनयन्तः
देवा अग्रे तदब्रुवन्
यस्वैवं ब्राह्मणो विद्यात्
तस्य देवा सन्वशे
श्रेष्ठते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्यौ
रात्रे पार्श्वे
नक्षत्राणि रूपम्
अश्विनौ व्यात्तम्
इष्टं मनिषाणाम्
मनिषाणा
सर्वं मनिषाणाम्
शन्नो मित्रस्यं वरुणः
शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा
शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः
शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः
नमो ब्रह्मणे
नमस्ते वायो
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि
अर्थं वदिष्यामि
सत्यं वदिष्यामि
तन्मामवतो
वक्तारमवतु
अवतु
अवतु
माम्
वक्तारम्
ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
शिक्षां याख्यास्यामः
वर्णस्वरः
द्रावलम्
सामसन्तानः
शिक्षाध्यायः
सह नौ यशः
ब्रह्मवर्चसम्
अथादः सगुंहिताया उपनिषदं व्याख्यास्यामः
पञ्चस्वधिकरणेषु
अधिलोकमधिज्योतिषमधिप्रजमध्यात्मौ
नामः सगुंहिता इत्याचक्षते
अथाधिलोकौ
पृथिवी पूर्वरूपौ
योरुत्तररूपौ
आकाशः सन्धिः
वायुः सन्धानौ
इत्यधिलोकौ
अथाधिज्योतिषौ
अग्निः पूर्वरूपौ
आदित्य उत्तररूपौ
आपः सन्धिः
वैद्युतः सन्धानौ
इत्यधिज्योतिषौ
अथाधिविद्यौ
आचार्यः पूर्वरूपौ
अन्तेवास्युत्तररूपौ
विद्यासन्धिः
वज्रगुं सन्धानौ
विद्यधिविद्यौ माता पूर्वरूपौ
इतोत्तररूपौ
प्रजासन्धिः
प्रजननगुं सन्धानौ
इत्यधिप्रजौ
अथाध्यात्मौ
अधराहनुः पूर्वरूपौ
उत्तराहनुरुत्तररूपौ
वाक्सन्धिः
जिह्वा सन्धानौ
इत्यध्यात्मौ
इतीमामहासगुंहिताः
मेता महासगुंहिता व्याख्याता वेदा
सन्धीयते प्रजया पशुभिः
ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन सुवर्गेण लोकेन
यश्छन्दसा वृषभो विश्वरूपः
छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव
समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतो
अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासौ
शरीरं मे विजर्षणो
जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा
कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवौ
ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः
सुतं मे गोपाय
वहन्ति वितन्वाना
वाणाचीरमात्मनः
दासागुंसि मम गावश्च
अन्नपाने च सर्वदा
मे श्रियमावह
ओमशां पशुभिः सह स्वाहा
आयन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा
विमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा
प्रमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा
दमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा
शमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा
यशोजने सा निस्वाहा
श्रेयानुवस्य सोऽसानि स्वाहा
तन्वा भगप्रविशा निस्वाहा
भगप्रविश स्वाहा
तस्मिन् सहस्रशाखे
गाहन्त्वयि मृजे स्वाहा
यथा प्रवतायन्ति
यथामासा अहर्जरौ
एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः
रायन्तु सर्वतः स्वाहा
प्रतिवेशोऽसि प्रमाभाहि प्रमापद्यस्वा
वस्तु परिदिवा एतास्तिस्रो व्याहृतयः
तासामुहस्मैतां चतुर्थे
महाजमस्य प्रवेदयते
मह इति
तद्ब्रह्मा
स आत्मा
यन्या देवताः
भूरिति वा अयम् लोकः
इत्यन्तरिक्षौ
स्वरित्यसौ लोकः
इत्यादित्यः
आदित्येन वाव सर्वे लोका महीयन्ते
अग्निः
भव इति वायुः
इत्यादित्यः
मह इति चन्द्रमाः
सा वाव सर्वाणि ज्योतिगुंसि महीयन्ते
भूरिति वा रुचः
सामानि
सुवरिति यजोगुंसि
महिति ब्रह्मा
ब्रह्मणा वाव सर्वे वेदा महीयन्ते
भूरिति वै प्राणः
भव इत्यपानः
व्यानः
मह इत्यन्नम्
अन्नेन वाव सर्वे प्राणा महीयन्ते
तावा एताश्चतस्रश्चतुर्था
सहस्रश्चतस्रो व्याहृतयः
तायो वेद
वेद ब्रह्मा
सर्वेऽस्मै देवा बलिमावहन्ते
एषोऽन्तर्हृदय आकाशः
तस्मिन्नयम् पुरुषो मनोमयः
अमृतो हिरण्मयः
अन्तरेण तालुके
एषस्तन इवावलम्बते
सेन्द्रयोनिः
यत्रासौके शान्तो विवर्तते
यपोह्यशीर्षकपाले
यज्ञौ प्रतिष्ठति
भव इति वायौ
इत्यादित्ये
मह इति ब्रह्मणि
आप्नोति स्वाराज्यौ
आप्नोति मनसस्पतिम्
वाक्पतिश्चक्षुष्पतिः
श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः
एतत्ततो भवति
आकाशशरीरम् ब्रह्मा
सत्यात्म प्राणारामं मन आनन्दो
शान्तिसमृद्धममृतम्
इति प्राचीन योग्योपास्वा
पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षम् ज्योतिषो वान्तरदिशाः
वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि
आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा
इत्यधिभूतौ
अथाध्यात्मौ
प्राणो व्यानो पान उदानः समानः
चक्षुश्रोत्रम् मनो वाक्त्वको
चर्ममागुंसग्गुस्रावास्थिमज्जा
एतदधिविधाय ऋषिरवोचतो
वाग्दम्बा इदगुं सर्वं
वाङ्क्तेनैव वाङ्क्तग्गुस्पृणोतीति
ओमिति ब्रह्मा
ओमितीदगुं सर्वम्
ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्योश्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ति
ओमिति सामानि गायन्ते
ओमिति शस्त्राणि शकुंसन्ति
ओमित्यध्वर्यः प्रतिकरम् प्रतिगृह्णाति
ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति
ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति
ओमिति ब्राह्मणः प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्रभानीति
ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति
स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
सत्यम् च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
शमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
अग्निहोत्रम् च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
मानुषम् च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च
सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराधीतरः
तप इति तपो नित्यः पौरुषिष्टिः
स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः
तद्धि तपस्तद्धि तपः
वृक्षस्य रेरिव
कीर्तिः पृष्ठम् गिरेरिव
पवित्रो वाजिरेव स्वमृतमस्मि
द्रविणगुं सवर्चसौ
सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः
इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनौ
वेदमनोच्याचार्योऽन्देवासिनमनुषास्ति
सत्यं वद
मञ्चरा
स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः
आचार्याय प्रियन्धरमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुम् मा व्यवच्छेत्सि
सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यौ
धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यौ
कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यौ
भूत्यैन प्रमदितव्यौ
स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यौ
देवपितृकार्याभ्यान्न प्रमदितव्यौ
मातृदेवो भव
देवो भव
आचार्यदेवो भव
अतिथिदेवो भव
यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि
यानि सेवितव्यानि
नो इतराणि
यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि
तानि त्वयोपास्यानि
नो इतराणि
एके चास्मच्छ्रेयागुंसो ब्राह्मणा
येषाम् त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यौ
श्रद्धया देयौ
अश्रद्धया देयौ
श्रिया देयौ
क्रिया देयौ
धिया संविदादेयौ
संविदादेयौ
अथ यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्त विचिकित्सा वा स्यात्
तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्ऋषिणः
युक्ता आयुक्ता
अलोक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः
यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन्
तथा तत्र वर्तेथा
तथाभ्याख्यातेषु
तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्ऋषिणः
युक्ता आयुक्ता
अलोक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः
यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन्
तथा तेषु वर्तेथा
एष आदेशः
एष उपदेशः
एषा वेदोपनिषदो
एतदनुशासनौ
एवमुपासितव्यौ
एवमुचैतदुपास्यौ
शन्नो मित्रश्यं वरुणः
भवत्वर्यमा
शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः
शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः
नमो ब्रह्मणे
नमस्ते वायो
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि
त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मवादिशौ
प्रथमवादिशौ
सत्यमवादिशौ
तन्मामावीत्
तद्वक्तारमावीत्
आवीन्मा
आवीद्वक्तारम्
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
शन्नो मित्रस्यं वरुणः
शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा
शन्नो इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः
शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः
ब्रह्मणे
नमस्ते वायो
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि
अर्थं वदिष्यामि
सत्यं वदिष्यामि
तन्मामवतु
तद्वक्तारमवतो
अवतु माम्
अवतु वक्तारम्
ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
मेधा देवी दुषमाना न आगाद्विश्वाजी भद्रा सुमनस्यमाना
दुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम विदधे सुवीराः
त्वया दुश्च ऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्रीरुतत्वया
दुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानजुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे
मेधां म इन्द्रो दधातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती
मेधां मे अश्विना उभावाधत्तां पुष्करस्रजा
परासु जया मेधा गन्धर्वेषु जयन्मनः
दैवीं मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधासुरभिर्जुषता कुस्वाहा
आमां मेधासुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगदी जगम्या
ऊर्जस्वते पयसा पिन्वमाना सा मां मेधासु प्रतीकाजुषन्ता
मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि यज्ञस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि इन्द्रयन् दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां
मयि सूर्योभ्राजो ददातु
श्रद्धयाग्निः समिध्यते
श्रद्धया विन्दते हविः
श्रद्धां भगस्य मूर्धनि
वचसा वेदयामसि
प्रियग्श्रद्धे ततः
श्रद्धेति दासतः
प्रियं भोजेषु यज्वसो
इदम् उदितं कृधि
यथा देवा असुरेषु
श्रद्धामुग्रेषु चक्रिरे
एवं भोजेषु यज्वसो
अस्माकमुदितं कृधि
श्रद्धां देवा यजमानाः
गोपा उपासते
श्रद्धागुं हृदययागोत्या
श्रद्धया हूयते हविः
श्रद्धां प्रातर्हवामहे
श्रद्धां मध्यन्दिनं परि
श्रद्धागुं सूर्यस्य निमृचि
श्रद्धे श्रद्धापये हमा
श्रद्धा देवानधिवस्ते
श्रद्धा विश्वमिदं जगतो
श्रद्धां कामस्य मातरौ
हविषा वर्धयामसि
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति
शान्तिः
यो वेदां ब्रह्मणो वेद अमृतेनावृतां पुरी
तस्मै ब्रह्म च ब्रह्मा च आयुः कीर्तिं प्रजां ददुः
आगधेयेनैवैनं प्रणयति
ब्राह्मण आरुषेय उद्धरेद
ब्रह्मणो वै सर्वा देवताः
सर्वाभिरेवैनं देवताभिरुद्धरति
यावदेर्वै देवतास्ताः सर्वा वेदविधि ब्राह्मणे वसन्ति
तस्मात् ब्राह्मणेभ्यो वेदविद्यो दिवे दिवे नमस्कुर्यान्ना श्रीलङ्कीर्तये देवता प्रीणाति
पर्यात्या अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोदिरात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्यात्यै सर्वस्य जित्यै सर्वमेव तेन आप्नोति सर्वं जयते
शतमेव शरदो वर्धमान इत्यपि निगमो भवति शतमिति शतं दीर्घमायुर्मरुतयेन वर्धयन्ति शतमेनमेव शतात्मानं भवति दं भवति शतमैश्वर्यं भवति शतमिति शतं दीर्घमायुः
अग्ने यशस्विनो यशसे मर्पयेन्द्रावतीमपचितिमिहावः
अयं मूर्धा परमेष्ठे सुवर्चा समानानामुत्तमः श्लोको अस्तु
आयुर्दा अग्ने हविषो जुषानो घृतप्रतीको घृतयो निरेधे
ेत्वा मधुचारकव्यं पितेव पुत्रमभिरक्षतादिमो
ॐ एतत्सामगायन्नास्ते
वोहा
अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्श्लोककृतः अहमस्मि प्रथमजारदास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य नः भायी यो मा ददाति स इदेव महावाः अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाग्नि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम् सुवर्णज्योतिः एवं वेद संज्ञानं विज्ञानं प्रज्ञानं जानदभिजानदो संकल्पमानं प्रकल्पमानमुपकल्पमानमुपक्लुप्तं क्लुप्तो श्रेयो वशीय आयत्सम्भूतं भूतौ चित्रः केतुः प्रभानाभान् सम्भानौ ज्योतिष्मागुस्तेजस्वानातभग्गुस्तवन्नभितवन्नो रोचनो रोचमानः शोभनः शोभमानः कल्याणः शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः शतेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति
शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषः शतेन्द्रिय आयुष्येवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति सर्वेषां सुखेन जीवनसिद्धिरस्तु
तथास्तु
अस्मिन् संस्थेषु स्थितानां विद्यार्थिनां आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्याभिवृद्धिसिद्धिरस्तु
तथास्तु
सत्याः सन्तु यजमानस्य कामाः
దండల మేక అక్కడ మూతికేద్దాం అసలు 4 పెట్టాలి మనం పెడితే వాళ్ళకి శర్మ గారు
ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो अग्नेरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्नेरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असो वै तपन्नपामायतनो आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपद आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपद आयतनो आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनो आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनो आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनो आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनो आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनो आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनो आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति शतमानं भवति शतायुः पुरुषस्य तेन्द्रिय शेवेन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति हरिः ओम्।
Namaste. Namaste. Pranam. Shubhodhay. Assalamu alaikum. Adabar se. MashaAllah, Inshallah. Good morning, Holy Spirit. Welcome to Sacred Himalayan exclusive course on Pranayama, the breathing, conservation of oxygen, conservation of prana. Before I proceed, you have listened to Smartapatthana, Yajurveda. Smartapatthana, yoga comes under Acharana. Yoga comes under Anusthana Vedanta. Anusthana, Smaranam, Mananam, very, very important. More than important is Anushthanam, Anusandhanam, Vicharanam, Acharanam, Vicharanam. One is memorizing traditions, the keeping the agamas, the tenets of Vedas one side intact. That's called a monastic discipline, a priesthood discipline. So, the monastic discipline is divided into two. One is the keeping, the memorizing tradition. They keep Shrauta Sampradaya, listening from a guru and a student, remembering them, preserving them as it is. What is preserved, as you have heard here, what is preserved is a sound. Sound. Other side of the monastery, opposite, at a distance in the forest, you will find another monastery, a monastery of practicing, a monastery of preserving the texts, preserving the agamas, a monastery of practicing, a practicing under a guru, a practicing students. Anusthana, Anusandhana, Acharana, Siddhanta, Vicharana, Upanishad tradition. Upanishad means practicing. Brahmanas, Samhitas, other aspects of Vedas are for preservation. After studying here in the school, and then you go into, after studying the theory, then we go on to learn the practical aspect of it. Even today, you go to Himalayas, those monasteries are significant, where they have two monasteries. One is a monastery of prayers, a monastery where you will find all the scriptures in one room exclusively, 1,000 years, 2,000-year-old scriptures, manuscripts as it is preserved. And at a distance when you find, you have to inquire where is the practicing, then they will take you a sacred place or a place completely fortified where it is no one is allowed to enter, where no one is allowed to enter, where only the one who is practicing yoga, the one who is practicing is allowed into that. A student who enters into that only comes out after 3 months, after 6 months, or after 3 years, or after 6 years, or after 12 years, or after 18 years. or based on the guru. In the practicing tradition, after 4 years, if he finds the student is accomplished at the basic level, he can sustain on his own, he will be sent into a forest, he will be sent into a cave. Shunyagara gatova, rukkam mula gatova, for further practicing. So 1977, my learning in Vedanta like this, and further Upanishads, Darshanas, Sanatana Dharma. If at all one has to learn Sanatana Dharma, as we call it Darshanas, as we call it Dharma, as we call it Yoga, what all you know is called Yoga Darshana. It is one of the Darshanas. Sankhya, Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, Yoga Darshana, Vaisheshika. These darshanas are called, as in the modern language you call as Astika, Nastika. There is no Astika, Nastika. This kind of categorization come much later. Scientific, unscientific, a God-believing, non-God-believing. This vocabulary has contaminated your minds. All these, whether it is a Bauddha Darshana, whether it is a Jaina Darshana, whether it is a Achala Darshana, every Darshana comes under a class of Sanatana Dharma. It is to separate one from other. The divisions are created. Understand? So only one has accomplished in the depth of understanding them is accomplished to practice the anushtana, vicharana, or acharana. Where is a practical, where is a practicing method, what is a way out? You simply learn a physics, it has no meaning. You simply learn a chemistry, it has no meaning. If you simply learn a biology, it has no meaning. If you simply study a medicine, it has no meaning. Until you enter into a surgery room, until you enter into a mortuary, until you enter into a laboratory. Practically you learn. Practically you are taught. That is called a science. Science means it has both the aspects, theory and practice. Then only it is called a science. And what can be practiced, what can be implemented, what can be useful to you and me. The absolute science, the science that doesn't change. Esa dhammo sanantano, sanatanaha, sanatana dharma. A dharma which doesn't change with respect to the time, with respect to the situation, with respect to the people, with respect to the time, with respect to the situations. A dharma which is explode completely, a science which is explode to the level of eternality, immortality, a superfluid state. A dharma which can fulfill the desire, a desire which can accomplish the desire, which can fulfill the desire, which can remove the entire stress, which can make you immortal. Mrityorma amrutangamaya, asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amrutangamaya. Impurity to purity. From world of dark energy, dark matter, gravity, which is called entropy, entire universe, entire existence. In this energy is created, not destroyed, changes from one form to the other form. A soul goes on changing one form to the other form. This is called field of entropy, a contraction, expansion, a progress, a regression, every day ups and down, your heart going up and down, your breath going up and down. Everything is a wave. Everything has a peak and trough. Sabbha lokopakamppito, sabbha lokopajjalito, as the Buddha said. Everything is vibrating. In entire field of entropy, there is no stillness. Everything is moving, everything is changing. Nitya anicca vicharana, shuchi ashuchi vicharana. Why it is changing? Because its nature is duality. It changes impurity. As you go down into the micro level of the atom, into the subatomic particle, Vaisheshika, anus and so dvi anus, tranus, and when you go into the pentaquarks, exobosons, so as you go down, deep down into the, as you dissect the matter, as you go deep down, what is amazing is that only duality increases. Half-life increases, lifespan decreases. As the lifespan decreases, it becomes much more virulent, it becomes much more powerful. Compared to an atom bomb, a hydrogen bomb is more powerful. Hydrogen compared to an hydrogen bomb, a thermonuclear, a hydrogen bomb, a comparatively, so a bomb made with the Higgs boson is much more powerful. A bomb made with a pentaquarks can be much more powerful. If you can make, say, a pentaquark particles put together. As you go down into the mains, the gravity is much more inferior compared to the intelligence of dark matter, compared to the dark matter, so the dark energy is much more intelligent. And whereas of the present science, what we call a dharma, what we call a science, still we are just touching to understand what is a dark matter. It's not that we have finished studying the gravity. We just started the science, present science started touching only a field of the dark matter. A Higgs boson is an indication. It can give a little bit of clue, but still it can't be explored. Only a nyaya, only a theory is existing, but practical aspect of it, exploring it in the laboratory, is a far away from the reality. If the dark matter itself is a reality, a far away from the reality, dark energy. Dark energy. Asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Tamas. That tamas means dark energy, dark matter, gravity. Mrityorma amrutangamaya. From mortality to the immortality, constantly changing, accomplishing the soul, accomplishing the DNA. For your information, if you substitute the soul with your DNA, you will understand much better. Your DNA is your soul, without which you can't. So your DNA is having everything of your information, past, present. By default, it will be your future if you don't change. That's called yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, changing a gene expression. Is a way of doing the yoga. Now the science talks about epigenetic, but a yoga is, people should understand, a holistic practice of yoga is all about epigenetic engineering, epigenetic science of changing the gene expression. The very definition of yoga itself, yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, prana nirodha, chitta nirodha, prana nirodha, chitta nirodha. Pranayama, prana nirodha, chitta nirodha. Means when your breath, when there is no need to breathe, when there is no need to consume any more oxygen, when there is no need to burn any more calories, you must know exercise physiology. Exercise physiology, sport physiology, athlete physiology. Either you must be athlete or children must be athlete. It is not that you are simply sending into the playground, but you must have profound knowledge of the science behind it. Like an Olympic medal, coaches and Olympic medal level of understanding the entire aspect of the movement of the body, and movement of the mind and body, exploring what can make you an Olympic medalist. See, it is all about oxygen. It is all about, or in other terms, you can say calories. How many calories you are burning, you call. That is unscientific. But the modern scientific pramana is metabolic equivalent. It is not about how many calories, it is about how much oxygen. Either you can say how many calories. An unscientific way is how many calories you are burning. Scientific way is how much oxygen you are consuming. It's called oxygen saturation. VO2 max. For an athlete, that is a performance indicator. Or the calorie, number of calories consumed directly proportional to the amount of oxygen consumed. Your total daily energy expenditure. If you calculate based on your fat, your basal energy expenditure, your total daily energy expenditure, how much you are consuming. And finally, when you calculate, but finally when you go to the laboratory, so when you go to the doctor, he will check your respiratory quotient. Based on the respiratory quotient, he will realize whether you are burning carbohydrate, whether your student as an athlete, whether your child as an athlete, consuming a carbohydrate or a fat as a protein, what he is consuming for his energy, but what his sport demands. Why he is consuming at the rest, so when examined, why his respiratory quotient is 0.9, means why he is consuming fat, or why he is consuming carbohydrate. At a rest, one is supposed to consume only a fat as a source of energy, but at a rest one is consuming a carbohydrate. Even an expert nutritionist, a sport nutritionist, you ask this question. Suppose an athlete is there, and so his total daily energy expenditure is calculated. He is burning about 5,000 to 6,000 calories in his burning. So while running, he can be a sprinter, he can be a runner, or he can be playing a shuttle, or he can be playing a tennis. A 5,000 calories, 6,000 calories he is burning. And then you calculate based on his a 57% carbohydrate or a fat, a 25% a fat in his diet, remaining a protein. This is how generally you calculate. You should know. And then, so why he is not able to perform, or why he is not able to perform properly, or when you examine, when you take him to a laboratory, and a nutritionist like me, and suppose a chemist like me, so take him, examine what is the reality, what he is supposed to burn, when he is at a rest, how he is burning, when he is working so much, 5,000, 6,000 calories he is consuming while playing, why he is consuming so much energy, why he is consuming so much of oxygen. Then I will take him to the laboratory. And yet, unlike so Djokovic, or unlike Pete Sampras, or like Nadal, so like so he's burning much more than that, but he is not winning the game. Why? So then I will take him to the laboratory. Then I will get it examined. What he is consuming at rest metabolic rate. So what he is consuming. So what is respiratory coefficient? That will give a clue. Where he is burning the fat, or where he is burning a carbohydrate. But he is burning a carbohydrate at the rest. That's the reason for his over consuming, so not being able to beat, and he is getting tired, not being able to beat the opponent in the court. Have you understood? It is all respiratory quotient. Your respiratory quotient will tell whether you are consuming carbohydrate, whether you are consuming the fat sitting in front of a laptop. You have a metabolic disorder, you have diabetes, you have sugar, you have hypertension, you have hypertension, or you have a joint problem, you have arthritis, you what not you have. So when you are sitting and watching TV, or whether you are sitting and going walking and coming, or you are going to, I'm going to the morning yoga, and I'm going to the morning yoga, evening yoga, but still why I have, so every day morning I'm going for walking, every day I'm playing a game, but I'm an athlete, but still why I have this issue? Why I have a metabolic disorder? Why I am still, so having the joint inflammation? Why I have a diabetes, why I have a blood pressure, why my cholesterol is very high, why I have fatty liver syndrome, or why my kidney is at the risk, those consuming the protein, etc. Why my walking is not giving any result? Why my every day morning I go and play, so a game, and so which is a sweat, but still why I am a diabetic? These are called inflammatory diseases. These are called metabolic diseases. These are called lifestyle diseases. Have you ever wondered? You go and get tested. There are the two things. One is bioimpedance test you have to get carry. So then a DEXA scan, number one. Number two, you have to get examined your respiratory quotient. Go to any hospital. Ask the doctor to check your respiratory quotient at rest. So you are at the rest, whether doctor declares whether you are consuming carbohydrate, whether you are really burning a fat, he will tell you what you are supposed to burn at the rest. Doctor will say you are consuming carbohydrate. That is the root cause of your disease. Whether you go for walking, whether you go for jogging, whether you go for yoga, but at the end all that is not helping. Why it is not helping? Because you never understood the science behind it. Your metabolism that's called a metabolic disorder. Your metabolism got disturbed. Your prana got disturbed. You never understood what is a prana, what is the oxygen management, as you think so. Why? Because you never practiced your breathing or pranayama in a traditional schools. Is your teacher gone into Himalayas and learned pranayama? Can you trace any of your lineage from where did you learn your yoga? Examine. And then let me know. Here, everything will look new to you. Everything will look completely different from you. What you have studied, because it is a Shruta Sampradaya. These are the technologies to be learnt orally like this. Only listening, and only practicing. But your learning is not Shruta Sampradaya or Shruta Sampradaya, not a Vedanta. Sanatana Dharma is always called Shruta Sampradaya. Yoga is always called. You go to your guru to listen. There is no tradition of reading anything. Ears over eyes. Shrunayama Deva, Anushthan Chanda. What priests have studied, it has entire aspect of yoga for us. Programming the brain to everything, dissolving all elements to dark energy, dark matter, gravity, to experiencing up to the singularity, immortality. All the steps they have enumerated. They have enumerated the way all these galaxies formed, all these universes formed, all this universe formed, all other universes formed. One universe superior to the other universe formed. The universes that control our universe, etc. So entire existence and beyond existence, so they chanted. Step by step, they have chanted. The way out, the way we have come in, the way out of this vicious cycle of consuming, prana, prana, prana. In search of happiness, our DNA evolving. In search of happiness, our DNA evolving a single cell to a 38 trillion cells human being we have become. Why? In search of happiness. In the desire of, in search of happiness. Oh, if I have, this is difficult, if I have this, maybe I will be happy. Treating comfort as a happiness, taste as a happiness, fulfilling taste as a happiness. But we never understood. Fulfilling the desire, fulfilling a taste, fulfilling that kind of happiness is nothing but increasing a prana, increasing a stress, increasing a calorie, increasing a prana means, increased a consumption of the prana means, oxygen means increased stress. Increased stress. Increased stress means, can happiness and stress can coexist? Your increased prana will tell a increased stress. Your increased consumption of oxygen, your increased consumption of calories indicate your vehicle is consuming more fuel, more oxygen, or more petrol it is consuming, more gasoline it is consuming, or more battery power it is consuming. Means your vehicle is efficient. Suppose your car is consuming like a truck, a diesel or a petrol or a gasoline. Do you think such a car is efficient? It is not a sport car. Suppose if it is an ordinary car you are driving. It is consuming like a big truck it is consuming. So like for example 5 liters, 2 liters it is consuming for 1 kilometer. Is it a good car? So our engine is designed to run with zero fuel. The objective of the DNA evolving is to achieve that conservation of prana to the zero level. Om pranaya swaha, om apanaya swaha, om samanaya swaha, om udhanaya swaha, om sarvam vyaptitam vyanaya swaha. Om annam brahmeti vyajanat, om pranam brahmeti vyajanat, om manah brahmeti vyajanat, om vijnanam brahmeti vyajanat, om avidyavaranaye anandam brahmeti vyajanat. Adi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Bhrigu is requesting. He is a father also, a guru, under whom he studied. He finished Vedanta, everything. He realized the objective of Vedanta is to end Vedana, to end suffering, to end stress, to make stress zero is the goal of Vedanta. To end suffering. If you make a stress zero of the DNA, over. That's called a happiness, peace. There is no more desire exists in you. There is no more taste exists in you. There is no more thinking of going to a restaurant. The very thinking of going to a restaurant will stop. Very thinking of going to see some place will stop. Very thinking of, so some entertainment itself, oh my God. you are full of happiness. A pot full of water, you can't fill it anymore. So when you become a pot full of water, full of happiness, nothing can make you happy. Now you are in search of happiness. How much pot is empty it is showing. Every weekend you are searching which is a new restaurant, so it shows you how empty your pot is. And the emptiness of the pot is increasing. How deficit of happiness actually, frankly speaking. Examine. Geshe, Nyaya Darshana, Panditaha means the way to analyze. Samyak Drishti, a right way of looking at the things, a right way of analyzing the things. Samma Sankalpa, Michya Drishti, Matadrupam Vipariya. Vipariya is Matadrupam Pratishtayam. Vipariyayam. Michya Drishti. Delusion, avijja, ignorance, blinds us to see, understand the truth. Satyam vadishyami, pratchaksham brahma vadishyami. What prevents us to see the truth? So what is the technology, what is the way to look at the truth? Understand? So, Bhrigu went to the Varuna, asked, what is a... Oh, I realized the goal is to conserve the prana. Oh, teacher, kindly teach me. How can I make my prana conserved? Pranam, Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Oh, if the system is designed to become... So, a human is evolved to make a straight zero. He has been given hardware and software. He can think. He can use all this science. His science every day is pramana. So he will investigate what is a absolute, a standard that can, what is good for him. A scientific astika, a scientific way of analyzing, pramana. So pramana, knowing the reality, so of what is good for this mind and body. At all Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, all at the 5 sheaths, so that he will remove all the impurities, or so he will eliminate all the mechanisms of consuming prana. He will achieve a state of, a sustainable state of, without any consumption of the prana, a sustainable state called a samadhi. Which samadhi? Samyak samadhi, or a nirvana, or a Brahman, or a Parabrahma, or a Paramatma, or a Holy Spirit, or a Tawheed, or a Allah, whatever we call, it is all the same. It is only like in a kindergarten, you see, nothing is called by the same name all over the world. Even you take a peanut, so everywhere in every country it has its own name. It doesn't mean it's not a peanut. Because the name is differently pronounced, the sound is different, it doesn't mean it's not the same peanut. So we should not go on arguing, my name to the peanut is superior than your name to the peanut, okay? We should not go to that level. Then you are not a yogi aspirant. Yoga means union. I want to forego all this. What divides us? What divides us by a caste, creed, religion, region, and what divides us by racism, what divides us by ethnicity, what divides us by our ego, what divides us by intellect, intelligence, all this what divides us only called, any division brings only consumption, any division brings unhappiness. When you are a child in your classroom, your teacher must have explained bringing one stick and just breaking it and bringing, couple of name sticks or couple of sticks and, making them a bundle. And now he gives you and he asks you to break it. You can't break it. Then giving an example of a division and a union. how strong the union is, how unbreakable the union is. The one who takes, find happiness being, so particular caste, a particular creed, a particular qualification, particular status, a particular thing. So this is called aham. So this is like, this one stick is saying, how far I am superior, how strong I am, it is saying, how intelligent I am, this stick is saying, how unvulnerable I am, it is saying, If a person like me go or, just break it, the stick will say like that. Yoga or a union or a omega becomes a one or a singularity when duality vanishes. All of us as a one. Loving all or unconditional love or treating everyone as your brother and sister. In fact, there's a fact. All of us say if Adam and Eve or Abraham's story is it true. Where you call Abraham, whether we call Brahma, it is the same. Swayambhu, Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara is the entity of everything. Whether you call Vishnu or Shiva or whether you call a Brahma or, so what Patanjali refers to Ishvara from Himalayas. In Himalayas is called Avalokiteshvara. So the one who is inward, who has a third eye inward, is called Avalokiteshvara. So for simplification, we call him as a Ishvara. That is only the difference. So when we are referring to Klesha, Karma, Vipaga, Vishaya, Vipuga, Vishaya, Ashaya, Purusha, Vishesha, Ishvaraha, when you are defining an Ishvara. An Ishvara is the one who has completely purified and whose prana is totally conserved state. He does not need any more consumption of the prana. He has no need to burn any more calories. So Himalayas, when you go, you will find everywhere. They have become rocks. They sat like this. Today you go, you call them as sitting mummies. We should not call them as mummies. A wrong name, but easy for you to identify. They have all become rocks. We just recently came from Himalayas, having finished a retreat in Himalayas. The first thing all our students go is to, so the one who entered into a tumdum, the one who entered into a samadhi, who has become, who entered into a state of conservation of prana and become a rock, fossil. So these are all the fossils there. They are called saligramas. You can't see under the flowers. You will be able to see. This is what Himalayas rocks are all about. Himalayas entire, what is underneath Himalayas are here. This time our students could see virtually all this. At the surface level itself they could find. Ishvara, understanding. So, it is all about prana. Pranayama when you say. Is it spending or conserving? Why we have to do the pranayama? It is to increase the consumption or it is to conserve. But modern science you take, where it is a spiritual science you take, it is all about whether your health, well-being, your emotional well-being, your psychological well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. It is all about just a prana, consumption of the prana. Have you ever checked your prana? What is your rest heart rate? What is your rest respiratory rate? What is your prana consumption? My prana consumption is like the Krishnamacharya, 1 breath per minute. 1 breath per minute. 1 breath per minute means 350 ml per minute. 350 ml per minute. 350 ml is the net consumption of oxygen, inspiratory volume. And inspiratory volume you take and minus the dead volume you remove. Inspiratory volume is around 1 breath is 500 ml. And minus dead volume about 150 ml. then you will have 350 ml. So per breath what you consume is about 350 ml. So one breath per minute means 350 ml of oxygen you are consuming per minute. So that is called your exercise, your yoga, your practice, your meditation. Whatever you are practicing, or you are practicing a game, when you are at the rest you are consuming. So your consumption of the prana. So your child is playing a game. So so prana consumption is only 350 ml per minute. Who is the coach of your child? Who is a nutritionist of your child? I would aspire to have that kind of the coach, that kind of the nutritionist for me to stay healthy. What else can be the proof that it is the most efficient way of training? But whereas this athletic fellow consuming carbs at the rest, where your child is consuming carbs at the rest or a fat at the rest. No doubt, when all of us were born, no? When all of us were born as children, and when we are drinking milk of the mother, when we are breastfed, and all of us when we were 2 years, when we did not use this intellect, no, sympathetic system, nervous system. So when we did not start recognizing the world, judging the world, or when we did not still start, so thinking mind has not come into the effectiveness. All of us at the rest, you get it examined, the respiratory coefficient shows they are consuming 100% fat as a source of energy. Your child, newborn child, a 3 months baby, 4 months baby, 5 months baby, 6 months baby, consuming only a fat as a source of energy. If at all, if it is different, then you have to check your child, what is making your child to think or worry about. Understood? The most efficient energy system. Yes, so whether it is an athlete playing, a power game, the consumption of the power, so creatine monophosphate mechanism to glycogen mechanism of a sprinter to a heavy weightlifter of creatine monophosphate bonding to a sprinter bonding a glycogen to an endurance athlete consuming and fat and carbohydrate to, and as the time of the duration of the intensity increasing, as the intensity of the exercise is lowering, as the time is increasing, you can see. So the consumption of only fat is a source of energy. Fat as a source of energy. From carbohydrate, your entire energy metabolism shifted to a ultra marathon runner is consuming only a fat as a source of energy. As a high resistance exercise to the low resistance exercise, the change in your consumption of oxygen, high consumption of oxygen to the low consumption of conserved state of oxygen, burning anaerobic pathways to and using the most efficient, so the aerobic mechanisms, the shift between an ultra marathon runner to a Olympic, a heavyweight champion. A high oxygen consumption to the lowest oxygen consumption. Where do you stand yourself as a yoga practitioner? We go on to practicing asana. Okay. Whether you practice Shat Kriya or Shat Karma or asana. Shat Karma Nirghata Staulya Kafadosha Maladika Pranayamam tata kurya anayase siddhyate षट्कर्म निर्गत स्थौल्य कफदोषमलादेक प्राणायामं तत कुर्यात् अनायासेन सिद्ध्यते प्रयत्न शैथिन्य अनंत समापत्तेभ्याम्. Patanjali said samadhi is effortless. Effort is to be effortless. Exercise is for a consumption of prana in the exercise is to conservation of the prana. Who is eligible to practice pranayama? Who will accomplish the pranayama? Who is eligible to practice pranayama? षट्कर्म निर्घत स्थौल्य कफदोष मलादेक the one who has practiced all shat karmas, kriyas, shat kriyas, shat karmas, the one whose body is free from all the impurities, and the one whose body is free from kapha, pitta, vata, doshas, inflammations are caused by impurities. The one whose body is purified by practicing all kriyas. Shatkarma nirghata maladosh kafa malade dosh. Pranayama. You will accomplish. You are eligible to practice pranayama. Automatically, pranayama comes. He is saying pranayama automatically comes. Pranayama automatically comes. Pranayama tatah kurya anhayaseti. Effortlessly. Effortlessly, you don't have to make any effort. Automatically, the state of conservation of the prana comes. Siddhyate the conserved state of prana, stressless state. Prana, yama. Yama means pain. Yama means pain. Yama means mortality. Yama means death. Yama Dharmaraja. The Lord of the Death in Indian spirituality is called Yama Dharmaraja, the Lord of the Death, Lucifer. You call Lucifer. Amen. Lucifer. The monster of the desire. The monster of consumption of prana. Amen. Amen. There is a There's a famous, so famous, what do you call, comedian, in America. So his name is Trevor Noah, Trevor Noah. So Trevor Noah during childhood, grown up in Africa, so his grandmother loves him. Why he loves him? So he will chant, at the end of the prayers in the church. At the end of the, so because, so his home is like, so a small church. Our grandmother is like, so all in the evening come and all of them do the prayer, Holy Spirit prayer. And then at the end, so this boy is called, Trevor Noah is called, then he will say, so, Amen, Amen. He will chant like this very prolonged way. Oh my God, everyone is a very, very naughty fellow. To impress upon grandmother, he will do anything, everything and anything he can do. Because grandmother is everything. She handles everything. So, so huge family, so even to have a favor of a chocolate or a toffee for him, he knows how to survive. He is the youngest child, he knows how to survive. So grandmother, what not, all his Christianity, all his devotion is, pleasing the grandmother to get a favor. Openly he tells her. And then, how naughty he is. He's such a lazy fellow. So, in the winter and all, going out and going for a vacation when it is raining, so going for a toilet, how difficult. So it is all open vacation. They have to go out and go. This fellow is a very smart fellow. And one day he goes, so, so he's such an intelligent, naughty child, so in the home itself he goes, and then he covers with like this bowl. His grandmother, so sensitive to the smell, naturally like any grandmother. What is this smell? What is this smell? Is he eligible to chant that? I'm just asking you. How is his nature? What he is saying, but what he is doing, what a difference. Understand? So, the reality always brings happiness. When he confesses his childhood openly, that is a great realization. Ability to tell openly what all nonsense, mischievous things he did. And so even listening or reading that brings enormous amount of happiness because it is a reality. He is not hiding anything. Maybe he's a comedian, but for me, it looks like he's speaking the truth. Ability to speak truth is, he has that purity in him. For me, he did not look like a comedian. For me, he looked a good human because he's brought up as, that brought up made him automatically a responsible, a good human. He wants to share that happiness, perhaps. It's not that I will satisfy everyone like that. But an example I'm telling you. yama, yama, pranayama, pranayama, prana plus ayama, vyayama, vyayama, vyaya ayama. Vyaya ayama means when you are exercising. Exercise is called vyayama, means vyaya ayama. Means you are spending, you are consuming, you are spending energy, you are burning your calories. Vyaya means spending. Ayama means conservation. Ayama means conservation. Prana plus ayama. Pranayama. Pranayama. What is pranayama? The first class, no? Just explaining you the meaning in Sanskrit. For sure you never learnt. What is ayama? The one which removes the yama, which removes the pain. A painless state, connecting to a painless state. Amen. At the end of the prayer, you connecting to the Holy Spirit. You connected already, dissolved into the Holy Spirit. No one's Amen. Amen. It is not Amen. It is not Amen. 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 All vowels. Which vowels? What it shows? Connectedness, union, conserved state. The prayer has fulfilled. You have reached a conserved state of prana. If I check your heart, if I check your oxygen consumption, at the end of the prayer in the church, whatever it is, it should be the lowest. Amen. What is the meaning of pranayama? Can you tell me? Now, it's the first lesson, isn't it? Who is eligible to practice this pranayama? Pranayama. Different techniques, different methods of conserving the prana. This course is all about a systematic analyzing, a systematic way of practicing the technologies of conservation of prana. The objective of yoga is only a conserved state of prana, removed state of pain, yama. What is a painless state? Pranayama, prana nirodha, chitta nirodha, chitta nirodha, dukkha nirodha. Prana is conserved, oxygen is conserved. You have attained the stage of the objective of the sophisticated hardware, software. You are programmed. You have changed the gene expression positively to an extent. You have made the stress zero. You have made the stress zero. Prana zero means a sustainable state, means calorie consumption zero. Prana zero means your stress is zero. Simple. Has your job, has your exercise, has your qualification. anything we study, the science, dharma, anything we study, anything we do as a human, do it for a happiness. Happiness means we are not doing anything for stress, no? But just think, all that whatever we do, we do the best college, best qualifications, best job, whatever it is, to be happy at the end of the day. But if that happiness is in terms of showing a increased stress, increased oxygen consumption, treating the happiness, increased stress as a fulfilling happiness, as a feeling of happiness, increased oxygen consumption as a happiness, what world indulges, treats as a goal of the life, leading a life, is called ignorance, is called avidya, is called a delusion. That's called a pramana, lack of truth, lack of scientific understanding. Examine yourself. Today you can go to any hospital. Doctor, what is my respiratory quotient, please? At the rest, ask. I'll be very happy to know if it is completely fat as a source of your energy. During the daytime, not in the night time. Of course, these days, even in the night time, respiratory quotient is showing 0.9. Understand? The modern science is very useful for us. Modern tools of exploration of the physical health, medical field, or the science is very useful in understanding the ancient yoga or Sanatana Dharma, in validating, in order to appreciate what this great yoga is all about, what an absolute great science a yoga is all about. More you know the present science of a sport or exercise physiology or a kinesiology or a kinetics of motion to everything, the more you analyze, the more you have an understanding, the more appreciation, more admiration you will have for those great yogis who have given us this great absolute science of dharma, of conserving the prana, conserving the prana. Understand? Suppose now you have inflammation, you have all impurities inside, but as per this shloka, you are not even eligible to practice pranayama, no? If I had advertised that, Shatkarma nirghata staulya kafadosha maladika pranayama tatah kuryan anayasena siddhyate. This course is only eligible for those free from disorders of kapha, pitta, vata, all the metabolic disorders. Only those who free from inflammation, any kind of the metabolic disorder, are so those who have practiced already Shatkriyas and Shatkarmas only eligible for this course. If we announce, do you think anyone would join? Then you will joke that, no, what for Guruji, this course is? if we are already free from inflammation, if we are already free from all those impurities, if we already practiced all that state, if we are in that good health, then why do we need a pranayama course, Guruji? Why will come to you, Guruji? Isn't it? Yes, that's why yoga is a always holistic approach. Ahara, vihara, vyavahara, vichara, achara, grahachara. These are the steps involved in a holistic approach of yoga. So for pranayama, we have to, for you to conserve the prana, everything that is as stipulated by the grantha, agama, shastra, science, technology, I have to teach you or not? Tell me. I will teach. Provided you should not question again, why this Guruji? I have come directly to practice this. I thought you will teach me. I thought directly the first class is going to be like that, Guruji. Pranayama. No, shall I show you pranayama? It looks like little bit of. What is that, Guruji? I never saw that something like that, Guruji. You never saw that, I know. That's called, if I do only this, is called Vyutkrama Kapala Bhati. What is it called? Vyutkrama Kapala Bhati. That's called Vatakrama Kapala Bhati. Vatakrama Kapala Bhati. Suppose I do this. See? See? Has come as successful. My Kapala Bhati is successful. See? Can you see this? What is that? Vatakrama Kapala Bhati. Vyutkrama Kapala Bhati. Olden days, no? If you go to UK, if you go to UK, if you go to that place called Wales, no? The famous tourist place in the Wales, you have that, so train. So the train goes up the mountain and comes down. And the train is, so 100-year-old or 200-year-old train, steam engine, So the steam engine, and while it is like, Aviri Kapala Bhati. Aviri. Aviri means steam. Removing the heat, excess heat from the body. Excess heat from the body. And purifying. Suppose you went out into the London or in New York, and so you went to Himalayas in the summer. You went in Himalayas in summer, or you went, Delhi in the winter, You went to Delhi or rainy season, or you went in the Delhi. So then what you have to do? The moment you go out and come back into the hotel room or your residence. So this kind of Kapala Bhati is very useful. Do you think I am teaching directly now the Kapalabhati or no? No. I am just saying, directly jumping into these pranayamas, you might expect. Just explaining what I have done also. If I don't explain, you will not understand, isn't it? I have only forced exhalation. Doctors will tell, the modern medical science will tell, you go to a respiratory science, the one who studies called a pulmonologist. If you go to a pulmonologist, he will say, forced expiration is the excellent way of removing carbon dioxide from inside, carbon monoxide inside. So of course he should know also particulate matter too. Forced expiration. Forced expirations are called forced inhalation, forced exhalation, forced inspiration, forced expiration, forced inhalation, forced exhalations are categorized in pranayama under Vaikrutika. Their name is called Vaikrutika. They are called Vaikrutika. Bastrika, Kapa. Bastrika means bellow breathing. And like Kapalabhati, called brain breathing. What is that? Bellow breathing. Bellow breathing. Brain breathing. Kapalabhati, brain breathing. Brain breathing. Brain, why is called? It is a hyperventilation. It is a way of removing hyperventilation of the brain. It is removing all trapped carbon monoxide to all trapped metabolic gases in every cell. Expiration. Predominant is called a brain breathing, which is not good. A hyperventilation of a brain is not good. Then what are the conditions prevail? To practice it, you must know. It is not just like that you practice a Kapalabhati, a brain breathing, a hyperventilation of a brain. Do you understand the terminology? Kapalabhati, it is called. A Kapalabhati also comes under a Shat Kriyas, one of the Shat Kriyas, Bhati Kriya. It is so powerful, but nowadays people just like that go under a tree everywhere in India. Now you will find people practicing. If you have practiced 4 or 5 years, your blood pressure is shooting up. Your blood pressure is raising up. Your headaches are coming back. Your migraine, your intracranial pressure increased. Your blood pressure is back. Whoever practiced with those big bellies, etc., all these breathing techniques, within no time, their blood pressure shot up. Understand? Do you learn surgery in your street? Someone tells, hey, what is there here? It is just this a way to cut and open and so clean it. What is the great thing? Huh? So what so the shoe shop fellow, the shoemaker is doing the same thing they do. So it is nothing but a cutting his skin and stitching his skin in the hospital. Why to go to the hospital? Let us go to the shoemaker and let us open this and remove the dirt, and he knows how to stitch better. No one goes to the surgery, to the shoemaker, no, because he is a leather expert, skin expert. If surgery is all about just, cutting open and stitching back. But unfortunately these days, yoga has become like that. Sarasejam. One of the qualification of a guru, pandita, in Himalayas is called Sarasijam. Sarasijam means you should quote an example, which is striking an example, and by which one can elicit a smile on a student face. Sarasijams. It is not called the same in English. Sarasijam is a Sanskrit word. It has become a sarcasm in English. It has, it has become a negative in English world, in the Western world today. Sarcasm. It is not called sarcasm. It is called sarasija. Sarasija means beautifully explaining with known to unknown and making you smile. Like shoemaker versus a surgeon in the hospital. A skin exporter working in a shoe industry too. A skin, the one who cuts and stitches back. There is no surgery without that cutting. Of course, endoscopy surgeries are there, etc. That I does not go into those. Understand? Because you are too intelligent, I know. That's why, being a first class, whatever I point out, you try to find, so where is the fault with the guru? Modern students always try to, modern university is different, modern schools are different, modern students different, and so they try to rate, constantly rating the guru, rating the teacher, At the end of the class, you have to rate the guru, If you already at a level of rating the guru, why you have to go to learn to the guru? I don't understand. I never understood. Rama Rama, Holy Jesus, Krishna Krishna, Shiva Shiva. Understand? So, don't meddle with the pranayamas. Already we meddled with asanas. Asanas. We have foregone all asana kramas. Krishnamacharya. What Krishnamacharya taught is entirely different from what Pattabhija has made. Entirely different what Iyengar made. Asana practice. And you are not a Krishnamacharya or a Iyengar or a Pattabhija Ashtanga Yoga, or you are from a Hatha Yoga school of Vishnu Devananda, or you are from a Bihar school of yoga, Chanadasa Varga. You have no idea what is Chanadasa Varga. Directly, indirectly, you are following that method, and you just do. Bending the body is called asana. The more you bend, there is no krama. So these are first say these are called Talasana Varga. This is called so Talasana Varga, Vrukshasana Varga, and so Sthirasana Varga, Samasana Varga, and then you go into, so the sitting postures, Padmasana Varga, Siddhasana Varga, Padmasana Varga, Paschimottasana Varga, so then you go into the Vakrasana Varga, and so Adha Machendriyasana Varga, then Gomukasana Varga, and then you go into Vajrasana Varga, so Sandhi asanas. Then you go into the prawn postures. In the Bhujangasana Varga and Shalabhasana Varga and Dhanurasana Varga. So like this there is a classification. And then you go into the supine postures. So moving energy from top to down, down to top. Okay. So based on the spine, from gross element, earth element, liquid element, fire element, air element, so udhanaya swaha, pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, samanaya swaha, udhanaya swaha, vyanaya swaha, respecting your movement of the prana, so your asana sequence will proceed. That's called a Charanadasa Varga. If you are not following, neither you follow properly Kurantaka yoga of the Himalayan, sacred Himalayan tradition of Krishnamacharya, nor you follow this. And now we all made our own sequences, we made our own ways of presenting asana. I am superior, this is much more effective, this is much more inferior, like this. Already we made it. Okay, asana as a conservation of prana, you never checked. Asana as a conservation of, respecting your frontal planes and sagittal planes, your diagonal planes, so respecting them. and conserving, moving towards the body of center, movement towards the body of center, movement along the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, as a conservation of the prana, as a meaning of the asana, samam, stiram, asanam. So that very concept itself we have forgone. Okay, fine. Now pranayama also you want to meditate like that. You want to play like that. But with whom you are playing? With this your hardware, software. What is supposed to achieve a complete absolute health and happiness? What have you achieved? It tell me. What is your prana level? Tell me. What is your rest heart rate? Tell me. Okay, you have been practicing. Only one pramana enough for me to know whether your practice is correct or not. Check you have a Apple Watch 5 and above version. Check. What is your rest heart rate? You check. What is your oxygen consumption? You check. That will tell how long you have been practicing, how correctly you have been practicing, whether it has any benefit to you or not. Rutam varishyami, you must validate. Then only it is a science, it is called a science. Without validation, without verification, so staying blindly thinking that it is helpful, oh it is working very well, no. It is a pramana. It is an absolute science. Yoga is an absolute science. You have to validate yourself, how much progress you made. I am saying my breath is 350 ml. On average, my breath is 1 minute, 1 breath per minute. My consumption is, it is not a question of 1 breath per minute. My consumption of prana is about 350 ml per minute. Yours is, say, 3.5 liters. 3.5 liters in an ordinary person. It is not the one who is practiced yoga or any exercise. An ordinary healthy person of a 60 kg body weight, his consumption of prana is 3.5 liters of oxygen per minute. Okay? Then what extra have you increased it, have you decreased it? If you are practicing going to a gym or you are an athlete or you are going for a walking or you are doing a yoga or you are practicing plyometrics or you are going Zumba or whatever you are practicing, tell me what is your daytime while your sympathetic activity is on. What is your consumption of the prana? Is it less than 350 ml per minute or is it 3.5 liters per minute or is it more than 3.5 liters per minute? So the first lesson is, so not only educating you but also obtaining the information from you. So all of you today you should write, you have a number now, have been circulated. So today is, I kept it as an open class. Today I kept it as an open class. Why I kept it as an open class? Because still, admissions, so we just went to Himalayas and came back, thinking 1 week is sufficient. So some of the applications, what to do, my dear. So we are very clear, but some confusions exist. So the forms, still we are receiving the forms, means the new students, admissions, they are confused. So a new student naturally confused, it's all right. So that's why we are waiting for a new student enrollments to finish. So today mostly is the last day. So once we finish this, day after the class, it is every alternate day the classes is going to be. And by day after tomorrow. So the public, it is no more, it is for a public. Public normally we give. So we have more than 15,000 subscribers on the YouTube. So for public, some special occasions, some special in pujas and when we perform a special occasions, like recent alms giving ceremony, they are for the public. But so once a course begins, the course is for the people who join in. But today, why we are keeping it for public? Trying to explain it to you. However, whether you are a public, whether you are a old student and a new student, doesn't matter. But there is a way of communicating to you. Understand? So you can send us what is your rest heart rate. So what is your prana consumption per average prana consumption during the daytime and during the night time? What is your mean average oxygen consumption per minute in the daytime? What is your mean oxygen consumption rate in the night? Let us know. Your rest heart rate, let us know. That will tell. Where you stand yourself, you will know. No one has to tell. You yourself will know. Where do we stand on the scale of yoga in growing in health? Are you growing in health? Are you growing physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally healthy or not? Prana is a single parameter, let me tell you again. That's why Pranayama course is so much important. This Pranayama course, exclusive Pranayama course, we never conducted in the past. This is an exclusive. For the first time we are conducting a Pranayama course. The depth of it, the breadth of it, the purity of it, the authenticity of it. It goes by, I chant like this, I will explain you. Whatever the categories are explained in Shiva Yoga Deepika to Shakti Yoga Deepika to Swara Yoga Deepika to Swara Yoga Chintamane to from Kagyu tradition to Nyingma tradition to from where Kurantakas came, from where the Bhairavas came, started spreading the technologies of yoga back to India, gone into the Himalayas, learned Kriyas and came into the India. But where all it began, in sacred Himalayas. Like Krishnamacharya, if you went and learned, today being a first class, whatever you learn, whatever the Vedanta today we chant, my learning in Kailas ashram like this, Pandits, learning Sanatana Dharma is called Sadha Shiva Samarambham Sadha Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Asmadacharya Paryantam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande 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 Guru Paramparam. Remember this. What is the authentic tradition? That in India, a Vedanta tradition. What is the most authentic? Sadha Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Sanskrit is it is a poetry, it is all about. Poetry has to be like a poetry. An anushtana, where you are connecting to the sound is poetry it is. It is where memorized is, because they have to memorize a lot. So it has to be dvipada. It goes by Anu, Laghu, and Guru. Understand? But the chanting is all about. Chanting itself we will understand. Chanting itself slowly gives you understanding. Like 3 times, 4 times I read, automatically you will understand. Shatkarma nirghata sthaulya kapha dosha maladeka pranayamam tatah kurya anayasena siddhyate. Every Indian, because all Indian languages are originated in language of culture, a language of cultured language, a language coming from a cultured one. A yogi is coming from Sadashiva Samarambham. Sadashiva Samarambham. Lord Shiva, Avalokiteshvara. Understand? Shankaracharya Madhyamam. In India, if at all if you have to learn Vedas in an authentic tradition, you have to go to Shankaracharya school. Understand? Then different like Kailasa Ashrama, etc. Authentic schools. Asmadacharya Pariyantam. Until you find an enlightened Guru. You are search for a Guru to Guru, door to door. From Kailasa Ashram, Shivananda Ashram, BR School of Yoga, Krishnamacharya, Iyengar School, Kaivalya Dhama. Pranayama means Kaivalya Dhama. In 1979, O.P. Tiwari, Garote were my teachers in Kaivalya Dhama. The first time, the exploration, understanding of theory and practice of scientific way of learning, pranayama, Kaivalya Dhama. From Kaivalya Dhama came so many known, unknown. And again, so from Bihar School of Yoga to again Himalayas, Upper Mustang to Sacred Himalayas, the journey in Himalayas. Understand? Asmadacharya Pariyantam. All gurus representing. Vande. So, Shankaracharya finished. Then, where is Sadashiva Technologies? Where you go, Sadashiva, where is it? In Himalayas is all about Tashi, Avalokiteshvara, everywhere you will find Om Mani Padme Hum, the powerful mantra of an Ishvara. If you have transformed, if you have become a yogi, how you will behave, how you conduct. Compassion, unconditional love, epitome of love, unconditional love, totally conserved state of prana, unconditional joy, unconditional living is the way of life in Himalayas. Only one mantra. Oh, you have become a lotus. Om Mani Padme Hum Hum Hum. By the wisdom of Sadashiva. Sadashiva appeared 3 times. Whenever this mantra lost in Himalayas, do you know? 3 times. From the sky, a holy stone of Chintamani, Chintamani, sacred Krishna, Krishna Shila appeared. Krishna Shila is called Chintamani, on which the golden words of Om Mani Padme Hum is restored. understand what are the qualities expected if you are making a spiritual journey, if you are practicing yoga limbs, whether it is a asana, pranayama, mudra, etc. It is very, 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 very. I go on, this is only a first class. If I have to explain what are the limbs or what are the, what are the categorization of the pranayamas, I will explain. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These are the steps again to develop prajna bhumikas of 7 steps. Hatha yoga, upayoga, raja yoga, upayogadhyam, for practicing the 8 limbs given by the Patanjali. Your all koshas have to be clean. For that purpose, Hatha yoga is given. Hakarena idha, takarena pingala, uchyate. Hakara, takara, idha, pingala, chandranadi, suryanadi, breathing in from right, breathing in from left. What are all this? Sympathetic, parasympathetic, the balance is all called yoga. So the left bull, the right bull, the left bull is parasympathetic, right bull is sympathetic. Its name is Idha, it's a Pingala. The pranayama, samavrutti. Pranapana samau krutva nasabhyantar charinau. Hey Arjuna, whether your breath is equalized, left and right nostril, is it going simultaneously? Is it going equally? Is it going equally? Krishna is asking the way the yogi validates. Prana pana samau krutva nasabhyantar charinau yatendriya mano buddhi yatendriya mano buddhi munir moksha parayana. Have you silenced? Have you conserved the prana? Have you silenced by conserving the prana? Have you silenced your indriyas? Yatendriya mano buddhi antakaranas. Is your mind, has your body come to a state of conserved state of prana? Have you silenced it? Are you opening? Are you traveling towards? Have you traveled towards the moksha, towards the liberation, towards the heaven? Have you opened the gates of the heaven of silence? Have you found it, Arjuna? Very clear. Teachings are very clear. Dvivedhastu, dvivedhastu, pranayama, stula sukshma, pradhayate. Pranayama is a twofold, called grass, called subtle. Sthulasya pranayam sharir pradhanyate sukshma pranayam sthu mano vidhiyate. Pranayama is gross, subtle. Stula, sukshma. Stula is for purification of the body, conservation of oxygen by purification of the body. Pranamaya kosha, Annamaya kosha, the two bodies, and sukshma pranayama or subtle pranayama or natural breath, observation of, that is a mind related, body related, is called a gross pranayama. The first two koshas, manomaya kosha, the mental, and the vijnanamaya kosha, so intellectual or thinking, vijnanamaya kosha, and buddhi pradhanya, and then avidya, ignorance based ananta, ego based happiness, what it is prevailing. So consumption of prana by them is much more than consumption of prana by the body. All five koshas, which one are consuming more prana? That is the discovery of Prugu. As a student from the Varuna, his master, his guru. Understand how mind consumes more oxygen than even the body. All our health issues related to mind, stress, than a body, frankly speaking. Do you understand? Mano pradhanyate sukshma, natural breath, controlling the breath, natural breath, entirely different. Controlling the breath, pranayamas are for, in order to help the observation of natural breath technologies, sukshma pranayama. So starting from stula. But to practice even stula pranayama, even controlling the breath pranayamas, kapha, dosha, vata, pitta, dosha, shatkriya, shatkarmas, cleansing kriyas by ahara, by means of aushadha, are a must. Understand? Patya is a must. Ahara is a must. This is how the science of pranayama explaining very clearly. So we will be learning. So pranayama course is all about in depth of prakritika, vaikritika, external respiratory techniques, internal respiratory techniques. External respiratory techniques are those. So cover the external respiratory system. They are called prakritika. That enhances, that removes the trapped, like COVID period, there is a fibrosis, like COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or emphysema. All these are the cases where there is a fibrosis happen, lungs space itself is compromised, dissolving all that fibrosis matter, restoring, and all that removing from inside of the lungs, out expulsion of them is called a vaikrutika. And carbon dioxide, everything, emptying out completely, called vaikrutika. Prakrutika is all about, so achieving your maximum tidal volume, the maximum lungs capacity, maximum oxygen saturation, and VO2 max, and in order to achieve, so your lungs capacity, using all your bronchioles capacity, your clavicular region, your intercostal region, Your diaphragmatic region, lungs are divided into three portions, controlled by extrinsic muscles, intrinsic muscles. That's how pranayama is divided into prakritika. Prakritika pranayamas are to increase your capacity of inspiration, to increase your capacity of your tidal volume, and to increase your capacity of expiration, so that your oxygen is full. So to the brim of your hemoglobin is saturated, 100% saturation you will achieve. Even while working, 100% saturation is, even you are as an athlete, morning to evening, even you are working, achieving that 100% saturation is called VO2 max. That is a challenging. One side you are expending, one side you are consuming, but one side you are not taxing your system. That is called oxygen saturation, ability to maintain your prana. Understand? So the external respiratory techniques, Vishamavrutti to, Samavrutti to, Surya Bhedi to, Chandra Bhedi to, there are so many, Murcha Pranayama to, Plavani Pranayama to, Murcha to, Brahmari Pranayama to, so the pranayamas of, so Vishama Bhredi to, the pranayamas of Anghanyasa, Karanyasa, Vibhaga pranayamas. So mudra sahita pranayama. What are the mudra pranayama? What is dhyana mudra? What is chin mudra? What is vayu mudra? What are these fingers represent? What is this mudra represents? Where which mudra to be used? Vibhaga pranayama is mudra pranayama. Then karanyasa, anghanyasa pranayamas too. Like the priests have come for smartha. For smartha means, so if they chant like that, the blood pressures will arise. Like any singer will die of the heart attack. So similarly, if they chant like that regularly, even their blood pressure will raise. So that's why they have to practice a pranayama before they come here. What pranayama they have to practice? Karanyasa they have to practice. Anghanyasa they have to practice. So Rudrastvam they have to practice. So once they practice that, once they come here, so when they chant morning to evening, even they chant, so for 40 years, 50 years also, their heart rate, their blood pressure will not raise because they practice pranayama. They practice much more powerful than ordinary pranayama. One is mudra pranayama they practice, one is karanyasa they practice, one is anghanyasa they practice. The yoga anghanyasas, yoga karanyasas, or yoga pranayamas are much more prolific, much more scientific. The sectional breathing techniques are far superior. The Tibetan box breathing techniques are far superior. Himalayan breathing techniques are far superior. Every athlete goes to the Himalayas or goes to Swiss Alps or a French Alps for ultimate content to be an endurance athlete, whether he is a cyclist, whether he is a marathon runner, whether he is a sprint runner, the ultimate test, the ultimate training, whether he is a soldier, whether it is for an athlete, is a Swiss Alps or a French Alps. But how old is those practices of the sport? How old are what is the altitude of Himalayas? What is the altitude of the people living in those altitudes? As those altitudes are their attitudes. Those attitudes are those altitudes. There is no difference. Why? It is all about prana. Technology is of breathing. Welcome to the world of plethora of the depth of the science of the most authentic scientific, the lineage of yoga technologies, exclusive course on pranayama. You will never be disappointed in this course, provided you comply. Whatever is being taught to you, I can guarantee from the day one to at the end of the course, I can prove how much prana you conserved, what your rest heart rate, what is your oxygen consumption per minute, how it has reduced. I can show you. You yourself will discover. Understand. These are the most authentic, traditional, ancient Vedic wisdom. I have to begin the way the traditions have to begin. So, today beginning, you must have confused looking at this background of a majestic background, Himalayas. Every entity here, it has enormous amount of authenticity behind them. Their temple, they represent every peak of those sacred peaks of Himalayas. They are the lords of every sacred peak in Himalayas. They are only called temples in the world. Since the time immemorial, there's every church, every mosque, every masjid, every temple in India is a man-made. The gods, where the gods live, they are called temples, and they are called Himalayas, the temples of cooling, the temples of removing entropy, the temples of cryogenic, the temples of immortality, the temples of superfluidity, the temples of eternality. Understand. Welcome to that world. Whether you take Kaaba there, whether you take Medina there, whether you take Holy Jesus there, whether you take the Avalokiteshvara, the Adi Buddha there, or whether you take Sadashiva, Nataraja here, or whether you take the one who protects the Dharma given by the Shiva, the Lord Vishnu, and his technologies of conch and saligrama, the chakra, cutting wheel of the bondages, and samadhi of the conch, shankha chakrasi dharinam. Ajanu purushakaram shankha chakrasi dharinam sahasra shiras shvetam Sahasra shiras shvetam Patanjali pranamochyate Ajanu purushakaram, or you call Abahu. Actually, Ajanu it is. Entire body, every cell, 38 trillion cells, have achieved Purusha, purity, removed the Prakriti, removed entire entropy, conserved state. Ajanu Purushakaram Shankha Chakrasi Dharinam. What is Shankha? When was the time? When was the time? What was the conch? Have you ever seen a conch? This is the time of how many millions years old it is? Shankha It is a conch which has become a rock. Conch fossil. Shankha. What is chakra? Shankha chakra se dharinam. What is the wheel? Wheel of the life. Galaxy. Way out of the loop of entropy, death. Have you seen this? Shankha chakra se dhare nam sahasra shirasam shvetam. If you have adopted samadhi, conch means if you blow air into this, what happens? Every air molecule into this by the sound, by the air, goes into harmony, goes into synchronization, goes into resonance. Resonance, self-sustained state. Kilometers together in Himalayas. This is from Himalayas. Understand? Every morning, the lamas, early morning, they purify miles away the environment. Harmony removes. This is harmony. Angels, harmony, conserved state. This is harmony, consumption. Asuras, demons. Where it is a church bell, where it is a church bell. Or where it is a ending the class. Ending the class. The way you ring the bell tells where it is the beginning or where it is the ending. Understand? Conch, samadhi, your breath goes flat. Harmony, self-resonant state. Samastiti. Pranayama. What is the ultimate state of the prana? Then, once you achieve this pranayama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, sudarshana, this is called, its name is in Sanskrit, sudarshana. Sudarshana, darshana. Darshana means observer, for purification, observer inside. Avalokiteshvara, observation inside, is called sudarshana. When you do observe inside, when you achieve the purity, remove the duality, observation collapses the duality of a particle. Do you know that? The quantum physics is all about collapsing the duality by observer. In order to catch Higgs boson, you need an observer. You have to create a powerful observer. The observer name is called Atlas. Understand? So only when the duality is removed, the particle can be found. So observer is required. A powerful Atlas is required. So to achieve a singularity, to achieve that conserved state, to make our entropy or a prakriti is zero. The journey, that is called Sudarshana, cutting wheel. The way out, the cutting wheel is all about the way out of the loop of birth and death, the cycle of birth and death, the cutting wheel that Sanatana Dharma is all about. Darshanas, they are called sciences of observation, observer, field of observation. Yoga Darshana, yoga is a practical methodology of observation, observer, observation, and finishing observation, field of observation. Idham kshetram, kshetram abhidiyate, hey Arjuna. This is called kshetra, this is called field, where you have to plow, where you have to remove the weeds, where you have to cultivate the seeds of eternality, happiness. Understand? Desha bandha chittasya dharana, observation inside. It is all about. Understand? Observer, observation, field of observation. Observer collapses the Dvaita is nature is our way of consumption. Advaita. So as when you become observer, the Dvaita, the duality collapses, the singularity comes. Advaita. So what Shankaracharya is called, he has restored the technologies of Sanatana Dharma, the technologies of observer, observation, what are lost, he has brought back. The legacy of technologies of observer darshanas, he has brought back. Tadhadrashtu swarupeva sthanam. When your observer finishes, when you reach conserved state, when the duality is finished, when entropy is removed, entire entropy is simply a field of duality. As you go into the dark energy, duality increases. So, when the duality collapses, you attain the total self-sustained state. Your DNA mission of making stress zero achieved. Once your DNA signaled, the stress is zero, the germ immortality stops. Germ immortality stops. That is called rebirth. You believe or not, rebirth stops. Germ immortality stops. As long as the stress, the desire, the Lucifer, and the consumption of prana exist, the journey of the soul continues. Understand? That is how scientific the technologies are. So Dvaita, Advaita, what is Advaita? What is observer, observation, field of observation. Sudarshana, what is Sudarshana? Understand? Have you ever seen? These are full from where the Himalayas. They choose to come here. So only once upon a time a guru means he is supposed to. A guru means the one who went to Himalayas and who attained a union, a holy union like this, a holy union, totally conserved state, the one who has seen the world of conch and the saligrama leaves, and so means he has gone to authentic places of the Shiva, the authentic places of Shiva. This is Spatika, third eye. This is called Spatika. Shankaracharya brought in India. All the temples he established them. So the Spatika represents the Shiva's third eye technologies. These represent the Vishnu's dharma, everything. That is a period. So whether you went to those terrains, whether you practiced or not, the proof is those gurus who returned from Himalayas, when they taught their students, they have given this to them. Once a student satisfies the criteria, a student is conducted very well, then the student is given Maha Aushadaye Dhanvantaraye Namo Namaha. So this is called most powerful healing stone of Dhanvantari. Only it has to be given by a guru. Understand the authenticity. Even today in India, in Kerala and all, you will find a typical Vaishnava Sampradaya where the gurus known to have given only the Saligrama. In that home, Saligrama is not there, means he is not a Vaishnavite. In Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, even in India, even today, whether the present gurus give or not, then they are really truly from Himalayas or not. Understand. Even in Himalayas, every monastery will keep this. This is called a pauda, is called a chauda, which brings faida, which brings happiness, which brings prosperity. They believe in Himalayas. So they just go for collection of a wood or grass or, so a yak dung, dried dung. So when they go, they find this. Naturally, they find there. Which side? The pure this side. Everywhere. Unless these are there, they are not called sacred places. So in Himalaya, the identification is the places where these exist. Those are the authentic places. They are the places of gods. They are the places of monasteries. Wherever they are there are the monasteries. How much you know about Himalayas from the point of spirituality? Understand what are the technologies of spirituality. Every stone here represents this, because it is to show you what is exactly a conch. You may be a Vaishnavite, who knows? Shankha chakrasi dharinam sahasra shirasajvetam. One duality finished. Your wisdom eye, your brain becomes equal to 1,000 brains. 1,000 brains. A yogi brain in creativity, in its purity, it becomes like a quartz. Quartz, you know quartz watch? Known for precision, known for its accuracy, known for its precision. Why? It is a pure. Quartz is the purest, formed after dissolving all elements. So the purest form of the solid on this earth are called precious stones. So they have least entropy. In other words, so they have no entropy. They have least entropy. They are the most pure. Wherever they are there, they naturally purify the environment around them. Naturally they purify. So why Shankaracharya brought? Why it is called a third eye? Why it is called a spatika eye? So why people worship it as enormous amount of? If just a small, a tiny molecule of quartz is doing a wonderful job in your watch, what can be the communication of this? What can be the purification of this size of the spatika at your home, for example? What can be the purification? What can be the energy there? This is what Himalayas are all. These are all comes from Parvati Valley. This is the Parvati Valley, smoky quartz, which is powerful. Kali Mata represents, removes purification. Any evil is there known. This is called smoky quartz. This is called the towers of consciousness everywhere in Himalaya. These are angels' antennas, they are called. Look at the way they manifest. The way they manifest. Purity of them. You see, this is from cooling. So these are called drusi. Inside it is all about a tiniest quartz. It is all about the quartz embedded into it. The moon lake, much more powerful than Manasa Sarovar, the Chandartal, the recent meditation retreat. Our students went there. All these places. Understand? This is my first introduction class of the background, not to be scared. Everything is here. Himalayas represent timeless journey, the origin of the time and space and beyond. Understand? So, a yoga is a union of all. It is an absolute science. You will learn whatever the religion you belong to. It all brings us one. It is a collectiveness. It is a connectedness. When we lose our egos, all that when vanishes, in that connectedness, there is a love, there is an unconditional love, and you are not vulnerable. You feel at home. That's what the objective of yoga or the meaning of yoga is all about. It is all about conserved state. What separates us is our taste, our ego, our desire. Understand nothing else. So once that is dissolved, all of us will become one. Or once our prana is conserved, once as we move close to realizing what we are, what is consuming us, what is consuming us, what is consuming us to the death, what is consuming us to the disease, is a prana. But if we can conserve it, then you automatically become a changed person. You will talk like a prophet, you will talk like a Jesus, you will talk like a Buddha, you will talk like a Lama, you will talk like a yogi. Your behavior will, your personality will transform to be a good person, to be a transformed good human, a human with the human qualities, with a humanity. The purpose of yoga is to convert the human into a full of humanity, not to behave like what memories he came with, a reptilian or a predator or animalistic or a socio-canonistic. All that he has, gene transformation, with the yoga he has achieved it. Now he is full of humanity, Avalokiteshvara. A human with a humanity is what can make, what can fill with the humanity is called yoga. So with this class of introduction, welcoming you all. So you read our code of discipline, very, very strict. We have to respect the traditions, our code of conduct, whatever the guidelines given to you, whatever stipulated to you, it is for your own growth, understand, for your own growth, for your own realizations, respecting ashrama, sampradaya, ashrama vinaya, sutra, yama. So the code of discipline will make you change, transformed person. So will bring enormous change in you. No compromise in our code of discipline. You please go through our code of discipline. We have a strict criteria of selection. If you are selected, you can continue, and you first go through the code of discipline. And we don't compromise on our teaching, on our methods, and on our implementation. You have to comply whatever is suggested to you for a practice, for your own health. I am telling you, for your own health. So only surrenderness, Shadgunas, a Shishya is supposed to have to be accepted, 6 qualities. So all that is explained to you in your code of discipline. And you have this, a traditional ashram is observer, observation. So that's how, so you have an observer, you have a mentor, or you have a coach, or you have a helpline, the one who is a helpline. In the case, if you have any doubt, you can contact your helpline, so that helpline will answer. Not like any of really a genuine questions will be answered. Any help you need, they will be able to render. So helpline numbers for each zone wise or a country wise, so we will create. So those helplines will be given to you. So those helpline numbers will be available always with you. And anything you need, but if the helpline numbers, they are the observers, they will always observe you. Our observation is only one thing, whether you are following code of discipline or not. You read again and again, we only follow your code of discipline. Don't get angry when we ask why you have deviated or why you are not following code of discipline. For our pramana is only a code of discipline. Even in Himalayan tradition, every monastery follows a strict sutra, a strict vinaya. Anyone breaks it, He'll be made stand in front of 2,000 to 4,000 lamas in Gyuto monastery in Dharamshala. Do you know that? A Tantra school of the Gelugpa. In Nyingma Tantra school, it is much more strict, which is in the beer. In front of even a small mistake, not complying a code of discipline, a small lama or a big lama. So there is a stage in a monastery. You will see every monastery a big yard inside, and all lamas will stand there, and the one who does the mistake, even a small violation, will be made stand and will be made to apologize, and his mistake will be read out loudly, and everyone has to forgive that mistake. Even if one lama doesn't forgive that mistake done by the person standing there, then he will be sent out of the course. That's strict. Even today, Dalai Lama's way of preserving sacred Himalayan traditions of yoga, whether it is a Kagyu, whether it is a Nyingma, whether it is a Shakyan, whether it is a Gelugpa, whether it is whatever the tradition there, it is that authentic it is. All our modern yoga seeped from that only. Kagyu, asanas, we now what we practice asanas or Kapala Kurantaka comes from, we restored from Kagyu tradition. Now, the most authentic means, yes, our yoga went back long ago to almost in 2nd century we lost. They all went to Tibet. They preserved in Himalayas. They came from Himalayas. They went back to Himalayas. We lost them. And again, we have to. So some of them, as the people went, learned there, brought back. Everything originally is only in Himalayas. What we have to do with the language? They have even today Sanskrit version and Tibetan version. Even today, the versions took by our Pandits, Vedic Pandits to our Acharya Nagarjuna to much before time to, they have clear records in Himalayas. Who lives in Himalayas? Only those Gompas, only those Lamas, only the temples. Only for those temples, people, those villages are created in Himalayas. Himalayas are only, they are all the priests chosen by the gods to be born there to serve those temples. We need to understand. However, the yoga which you know to, the yoga unknown, everything will be taught to you. Pranayama, this course will be entirely different. So come prepared to be a good Shishya, a good disciple, leaving your intellect, your intelligence, all that doesn't work, only surrender. Understand? Tuning in, Strauta means only when your mind is silent you can listen. Why you can't listen? Because there is a noise going on, tarka, brain chatter is going on inside. Then you can't hear. If there is a sound outside, can you hear anything? You can't hear. For you to hear, there has to be a silence. Your mind has to be silence. Then you will listen. So what will prevent you to listen? What will prevent you not to surrender? Your own brain chatter, your own conditioning in the mind. So in order to remove that conditioning, so people said, just surrender. Surrender to the Guru. Tune in. Tuning in is, so choose sound. Say a low octave sound. These are the technologies of low octave sound. So low octave or 0th octave. Means how much you have to remove the noise to listen. That's called surrender. Otherwise, our own intellect, our own judgments, our own knowledge acquired from bookish or whatever it is. So the knowledge boosting our ego, we think we know something, which is not a reality. Yes, it has to be validated. So wherever we go, whichever the guru we go, we only thumb principle is surrender there. Don't go there to judge the gurus, validate the gurus. Whatever is taught there, just simply listen. The story of Milarepa, my story in Kailash Ashrama, story of Milarepa, etc. Outstanding example how a student should be. In Himalayas, how much Milarepa is adored? The Milarepa has a tough guru, because he did tough karma, very bad karma Milarepa did. In order to pull him out, the guru has to dissolve his karma. Only way dissolve is the student has to undergo enormous amount of transformation. So the guru is so strict. Whatever hard work day and night he works, he demolishes it. He just doesn't, as if he doesn't care it, he removes it. He makes him construct, spending so much of energy day and night for years together. He just tells him to destroy completely. Never a Milarepa asked his guru, nor a doubted his guru. Because he knows his guru Marpa is an excellent guru. Under him only his karma can be dissolved. He can be groomed as a good shishya. And every day, such a torture from the guru. But not even a single moment he ever judged a guru. He ever faulted a guru. Understand? Will you be like that? Will you be like that Milarepa? I don't say you have to be like a Milarepa. Understand? If someone is like a Milarepa, nothing like that. Understand? Read about Milarepa. Maybe in the Google, on Wikipedia or somewhere. You will understand. Outstanding. If any guru has to quote, or any tradition has to quote in Himalayas, they quote about Milarepa. Understand? And Marpa is Guru. Marpa Guru is Vairochana. The story goes, it has a lot of depth. Understand? Shankaracharya tells, or as per the Vedanta, what are the qualities of a Shishya? Shraddha, Dama, Shama, Uparathe, Samadhana. Uparathe, Samadhana. Shraddha, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. 6 qualities. Dama, Shama, Uparathe, Titiksha. That's what Milarepa is all about. Never even, there is no question of any avengeful event, no negative processing at all. Everything so positively he took by the Guru. That's how he mastered. There is no one like Milarepa. All those mandalas, what you call is given by the great Milarepa. Understand? Mind-blowing phenomena. Titiksha and Shraddha. Guru Vakyena, Shastrena. Whatever Guru sent, Guru word is God word. Guru, whatever Guru teaching is, it is a science. Understanding, not questioning. Because thinking ourselves we are at kindergarten level. A student always should think he is at kindergarten level. You send your child, he goes to a school and he learns something in the school. You only told teacher is great. So the child comes back. So my teacher explained this. So the child understood the teacher, but then when you try to say A for apple, the child is taught the first day in the school. And the child comes and A for apple, mom, you A for apple. If mom says A for ant, Do you think the child will agree? No. Child will not agree. I can tell you, child will not. Mom, no. A for apple. A for no. A for not for an. A for apple. No, child. It is like no. You only. Why you are sending me then to the teacher? You told teacher is great. That is the geshe in Himalayas. That is the logic. Understand? So, a shishya means a student. Shishya means shishu, a newly born one is called a shishu. Shishu has no consciousness of gender, no consciousness of anything, just naked, surrendered, whatever is in his mouth, happily he takes, never questions. He never asks sweet or bitter, whatever it is. Totally conserved state, the child. Child respiratory quotient shows ketogenic body has no resistance, zero resistance. Understand? Today the question I asked, what your respiratory quotient should show? When it will show? It should show fat. But why it is showing carbohydrate? Because there is a lot of resistance, lot of stress you built in your system. You observe the child. Child is just little milk enough for him to be 24/7 active. Why? There is no resistance in him. There is no impurity, there is no resistance in him. Zero resistance. Body is ketogenic automatically. Every fat molecule produces 471 ATP. A yogi in Himalayas, just one momo enough, one sheep momo, meat momo enough for him. One momo enough for them. 4 momos enough for them to be energetic whole day. Why? The gut bacteria are different. As the research shows, the system is different. The system is in harmony. The body is in ketogenic state. What is the purpose of yoga? To make your body absolute ketogenic state. It is not keto diet you have to follow. It is once your body goes into a resistanceless, the more resistanceless state, when your 38 trillion cells reach the totally ketogenic state, zero resistance state, there is no more energy, no more prana required from outside. A yogi means, an enlightenment means an achieved zero resistance state, a total conductance state. Understand that scientific the path is. That's why I said, go and test your, how many calories you are consuming, your total daily energy expenditure, not enough. But what decides whether it is matching or not? So how you have to change your diet, how you have to change your exercise, where you are going forward. You have to analyze your respiratory quotient. By that you will understand what you are burning. Are you a efficient engine? Are you a totally inefficient engine? You will discover yourself. The technologies of yoga is to convert this into totally self-sustainable, no input, no output kind of thing. Just 4 momos, just a glass of milk to achieve that state. Don't idealize. Understand. That stage from our present working stature to go to that state, to that, neither we are in Himalayas nor we are lamas. Yes, if you are desire free totally, it is possible. If you don't have to do all these jobs, what you are doing for money, and so desire, if there is no desire in you, it is possible to achieve. Let me tell you, it is not. But that is what a yogi is all about. You can achieve it if you're really serious about it. Understand? It is in your hands. It is in your hands. Understand? So, ending with the prayer. We got blessings from the priest today. May you, all your family members, and your parents, your ancestors, your siblings, your community, your colleagues, that's the way Himalayas. May you all be healthy, सर्वे स्वस्ते भवतु सर्वे शान्ते सर्वे पूर्णं भवतु लोका समन्ना सुखिनो May all be may all may all be blessed. May all be free from strife, condemnation. May all Amen. Inshallah. Hari Namo Namaha. You are admired, you are adored for listening this. You are most welcome. I am always grateful to all those lineages and to all of you. I express my gratitude for tuning into these technologies. May you all be healthy, happy. See you again day after tomorrow when you are inside the course, online course. By day after tomorrow, you should be able to sort out any of access issues you have. If you are an old student, if you are not selected, means there is no need to make any trial because the tradition is so clear. You are not selected being an old student means, yes, you are not selected because as a Shishya you have not complied perhaps. It is a time for you to introspect, investigate. We want you and your family to be happy, to be contented, to come along, not to travel alone in most of the cases. Understand? If there is a hell at home, what's the point? It is the technologies is to make a heaven at home. Understand? Heaven at home. Heaven at home inside, making home a heaven. Himalayas coming home. See you again. Thank you so much.